Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Welcome on into a DFS strategy video for the 2026 Texas Children's Houston Open. My name is Eric with SweetSpotDFS, going over all the things that are going to matter this week, because the whole goal is to target the optimal lineup. And if we don't hit it, maybe we just aim small enough to hit the GPP winner instead. That's the whole goal. And I'll be covering the golf course and tournament information, going over past optimal and GPP winning lineups. I'll also be going over the bucket system in detail like we did last week. I thought that was a fantastic thing that we did last week. So I'll be doing that exact same thing this week. And then we get into the Marquee Tee Times, because all of that will help us narrow down our player pools this week to get on the correct golfers to hit the optimal lineup. So that's the whole purpose, and that's what we'll be doing. Now, I am going to warn you, we're going to get into some housekeeping items now. So if you're watching this on replay, skip ahead. I will have timestamps down below. I kind of failed to do that the last 2 weeks. Kind of got done with the streams and just was like, yep, I'm going to bed. So I will make sure to have timestamps down in the description. But the first thing to cover, the very first thing to cover, guess what's right around the corner? Guess what's right around the corner? The Masters, baby. And if you didn't already know, I like to do giveaways for major championships. So here's how you get an entry into the Masters giveaway. Now I have a thing called Win the Pot. This giveaway, it's determinant on how many new subscribers we get to the channel. It starts at $20, so someone's going to win $20 no matter what. But I'm going to stay true to my word. I had said this, I think it was 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. Whatever that number was, so I started at 892. So that is what the subscriber count starts at, 892. So as you can see, we have 900 subscribers to the channel already. That means we have 8 new subscribers. 1 new subscriber equals $2. 2 times 18 is 16. The pot currently sits at $36. So if you want an entry into this giveaway, you have to be subscribed, number 1. Number 2, be here on the live streams when I do roll calls. Roll calls are just my way of asking who's in the chat right now. They're the easiest way to keep track of people. I have skipped so many people in the past because they give me one comment and it's at a random time in the video, and I used to scour the entire stream trying to find every single person. It is way too hard, way too difficult to make sure I get everybody. So during roll calls, it's just a concentrated time that I can look to see who's all in the chat, record it, and for those that are participating, that's your way of participating, saying, hey, I'm here, I'll follow whatever you need me to say. That's a roll call. A lot of times it's just, who's your favorite golfer? Who's going to win this week? Give me the number 1, something like that. So I usually do that at every 1 hour mark. So that's just during live videos. I haven't lost you yet. To get additional entries, any video that's on replay. So this is obviously a live stream. When this goes on replay, meaning once I hit end broadcast, it gets spit out to YouTube for everybody to watch. And they can watch it at any point in time. You don't have to be live. If you comment down in the comment section, you get an additional entry into the giveaway. Furthermore, if you read the description of this video, you'll find a little nugget in there to get an additional entry. So you can get up to 3 entries per live video that I do. Be here during, well, not even so much 3, depends on how many roll calls I do. So you can get a ton of entries into this giveaway. You just got to be here. You just have to participate, and you just have to subscribe to the channel. So all of those things, and I understand it's a big old sales pitch to get you guys in to subscribe, all that stuff. Unfortunately, that's what us YouTubers have to do in order to get follows. You'd be surprised at how many people actually subscribe when you ask them to do it versus just rely on them to do it under their own free will. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me whenever I bring this stuff up. And in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have all the giveaway videos or a link down in the description. I'm just going to pre-record a giveaway thing and say, hey, if you're interested in giveaways, go check out the link down below. But as of right now, I'm just going to continue to remind you guys how to do it. So we have the win the pot. Again, every one new subscriber. So I know there's some people in the chat that have tried to unsubscribe and then subscribe again. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. It all depends on that 892 number versus whatever is at the number before I go live Tuesday on April 7th. Whatever the difference is, that's how many subscribers I'm going to add to the pot, and that's just $2 per subscriber. So there we go. That's the Masters giveaway. Now, not only, that's the only thing to look forward to. We have our typical weekly and monthly giveaway, and guess what? We hit the subscriber goal of 900 subscribers. You see that all the way over to the left? We got there. We have 900 subscribers on the channel. So I'm giving away a t-shirt along with a monthly membership to SweetSpotDFS.com, and that will be given out next Tuesday. So what a perfect time to participate on all of the giveaways, because if you win, you'll get a monthly membership to SweetSpotDFS.com during the Masters, and any of the other tournaments, well, it'll be next week's tournament. Oh, we could just implement it during the Masters, and then you could have it during the Masters as well as a PGA Championship. We could have it. We could set it up that way. So again, be subscribed, comment when you can. That's how you earn your entry. And I'm going to give you a t-shirt. I have 3 different choices of t-shirts. It can be your choice. So that's a great way to, get some free stuff. And then all of this goes towards the big giveaway. The big giveaway, when this channel reaches 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away $1,000 worth of giveaways. One is one is a lifetime membership, which is a $600 value. One is a annual membership, and then I'm giving away 2 $100 cash giveaways. If you want an entry into this giveaway, all that you have to do, you don't even have to be subscribed to the channel. You don't have to comment. You don't have to do anything. But the one thing that you do have to do, I know that was a weird sentence, but the one thing you do have to do is go sign up at SweetSpotDFS.com. Create yourself a free account. Because I'm going to take that distribution list of all the members at SweetSpotDFS.com, and I'm going to pick out a random winner whenever that happens. So that is how you will get an entry into this giveaway, and we just reached 900 subscribers. So it's just that goal to continue getting as close to 1,000 as we possibly can. And once I reach 1,000, that's when I will run the giveaway. Okay. That's all the giveaway information. And I feel like, I'll be doing the same thing next week before the Masters, just to remind everybody, hey, we can make a big win the pot giveaway. Just getting more subscribers in, and you guys can earn all the entries that you possibly can. Another reminder, this is a live stream. And I have people in the chat going crazy right now talking about where you guys are from, it looks like. So I appreciate it. Everybody that's in the chat. Skylar Bro, AJ Love, Joanne, Denny Barry. Who else do we got? Is that it? Yeah, just those guys. I love it. I like seeing the chat going up and down. AJ, thank you for the congrats on the 900. Hello, everyone, by the way. Denny goes 900. Yep, I appreciate that. Eric has to redo all the data since Scotty withdrew. I actually did withdraw. Everything is updated. Whether it's the cheat sheet or the website, everything has Scotty out of it. So we're all good. Oh, thank God for timestamps. Okay. Some more housekeeping things. You can follow along throughout this video by going to SweetSpotDFS.com. The cheat sheet that I have on the screen right now can be accessed by just going to the website and going under Fantasy Tools cheat sheet. You click that. It'll ask you to be a free member. All you got to do is be a free member, and you will have access to this. not only will you have access to this cheat sheet, if you scroll down on the page, you can access the Google sheet that I will be kind of referencing. I actually have a tool in the works. I'll show it to you guys right now. This will be on the website probably by the end of this week. It's almost done. I just have some conditional formatting that needs to be updated. But essentially everything that you see, you know, like when I go over these types of pages where we have, you know, this is the 2025 tournament and we got the golfers' names, the salaries, the DK points, all of this stuff. Well, guess what? We have that right here. I go ahead and drill down on the recent form table. I don't have everything completely perfect, but as you can see, we've got, I actually put the bucket numbers in here, but you have your salary, you have your golfer. I mean, if I push this down, you can see how similar each of these pages are. We have course history, last year, recent form, just like you have here. Maybe I'll add cut made percentage. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But we have, you know, instead of the acronyms for the tournaments up top, I can't do that in Power BI. So we just have -1 week, -2, -3, all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to roll this out. Probably it'll be next week. You will see this in completion next week. So we're getting closer to not having to use spreadsheets. Everything will be on the website. So again, you can access everything by going to SweetSpotDFS.com, going under Fantasy Tools, hitting Cheat Sheet. What I'm also providing is an optimizer. This is what the optimizer looks like. It has all the bucket conditionals in here, and I will be building lineups at the end of this video for everybody that's in chat that has a badge next to their name. If you want a badge, hit the little $sign that's down in the bottom of the chat. Join. All you got to do is be a red tier member and above. If you want to be a white tier member and above, you'll have access to my live streams every Wednesday night for the members only videos that I do, the live streams that I do. That's where I go over how I'm building lineups for the week and give you just my kind of last piece of information for you guys to consider when it comes to building your lineups. But to get this optimizer, go to SweetSpotDFS.com, go under find optimizer under the drop down. And then you will get a page that looks like this and a pop-up that will happen that looks like this. You just hit your email address in here or type your email address in there and then hit the request now button. I will get an email that will say you're interested in the optimizer. I do have to see it with my own eyeballs, the email that is, in order to then send it to you. So be patient. I'll get it to you as soon as possible. But yes, I think that's it when it comes to all the housekeeping items. So that being said, any questions in the chat? Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay, we're going to get into the golf course and tournament information right now. So we will start with the tournament information for the Texas Children's Houston Open. This tool is called Tournament Stats. If you want to check this out at SweetSpotDFS.com, there is a link in the description for the website. One thing I will say, when you're here, just go into the select tournament filter and type in Houston, and then that way you will get the Houston Open and only the Houston Open. Lots of things to cover. I mean, we did this Sunday night. If you didn't already know, Byron, Linda Q, and myself, Back Nine Bets, the Model Maniac on Twitter, we have a Sunday night stream where we recap the tournament that just ended, and then we preview the tournament that's about to happen the following week. And we did cover quite a bit of information, but just to kind of recap what we did there. This Houston Open is played in the spring. It has not always played in the spring. There was a chunk in the middle that was played in the fall. So I think it was from 2018 to 2022 where it was played in the fall. trying to remember when Steven Yeager won. I think that was, yeah. So you can see this jump from, let me zoom in just a little bit more. This jump from 2022 to 2024, technically the Houston Open was not played in 2023. The 2022 year was in the fall. Tony Finau won in the fall. That was considered a 2023 season event because it was a fall season event. Then it made the change to the spring in 2024. Now, again, down here, I think it was, maybe it was 2019 to 2020. It changed from spring to fall yet again. Actually, here, let's just look really quickly. I have all these sheets that will tell me, and we can tell by the tournaments leading up to it. So that was 2017. That was definitely spring. 2018 was definitely spring, and 2020 was not. 2020 was fall. Okay. I should have remembered that, but I just didn't. I'm sorry. So 2020 it went to the fall. That's where Carlos Ortiz won, Jason Kokrak won, and Tony Finau. So those were fall series events. Prior to that, they were spring events. So you can kind of see, and then also to go along with all of that, over here with the golf course, you can see which golf course was used. It was at the Golf Club of Houston all the way up until 2020 when it went to the fall series, and that started at Memorial Park Golf Course. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration there. If you're looking at the scores prior to, it's a whole different golf course. If you're looking at the fall, it's a whole different time of the year where, you know, you could argue that the golf course was tougher because it was on Bermuda and the conditions were just different. Now we're on an overseeded. We'll get into that with the golf course, but it is technically easier. The rough is cut down pretty short. So there isn't much issue with the rough. That's just information for you guys all to use, because when we think about the tournament and golf course, the most important thing to understand is we're looking for data points to use in our researching. I don't need to show off with all the information that I know. I just want to give you guys the data points. So then when you go to the website, you can provide all the data points for filtering. Because if we were to take the winning score, so if we're projecting the winning score to be easier this week, let's say 15 under to 20 under, you could go to a strokes gain stats page, like the tool that I have for strokes gain stats, and under the tournament filters, I have a winning score down here that you can enter the criteria that you are thinking. So if it's minus 15 to minus 20, we can X out of there. Ooh, I guess I don't have Scotty Scheffler out of the website. I thought you know what? I did publish, but sometimes I have to go to the online version of Power BI and refresh everything there. I should have looked at that before jumping on. So anyways, all I have to do is refresh it when I get done with the stream, and Scotty Scheffler should be taken out of there. But when we put a filter on there, you could also use this date criteria. Like I can get rid of the date completely and you can see all rounds that anybody's ever played. And if you sort it by strokes gained total, you will see who the best golfers are when it comes to that type of winning score criteria. Again, if you remember, we put in minus 15 to minus 20 for the winning score. And then we get golfers. Yeah, I sorted by strokes gained total up here. This is a little summary box for the strokes gained stats page. And then that's where we can find out which golfers are the best. And whether or not you want to play them, that's up to you. I don't have projected ownership in here, but you can see the golfers that are performing the best. I would recommend putting a date filter on here. I think just looking at a year's worth of data is probably the smartest thing to do. So I could go like, you know, the beginning of March, or I can select a date. It doesn't really matter. We can go the 27th. March 27th, that's almost a full year from that date to the date that this tournament's going to start. So you can see all the rounds of golf, and it should have already auto sorted, but in case you don't believe it, we can sort it again. And again, remember, Scotty's not in the field. He withdrew, but we have Nikolai Højgaard, Chris Gotterup, Michael Thorbjornsen, Rico Hoey, which I don't think is a bad choice this week, by the way, at 7,300, Jake Knapp, Harry Hall, Kevin Yu, Ricky Castillo, and Marco Penge. So that's kind of your top performers just with winning score. That's it. Just winning. That's all that I put in there is winning score, because again, from what I've just discussed with the tournament information, we can kind of forecast that the winning score is going to be somewhat easy. I didn't go over the golf course. I will pretty soon, but you will see the rough is cut down pretty short. And I actually think it is shorter than what was in 2024. We'll take a look at that. We do have the field size of 135. That's pretty darn close to what it has been in the past. It would be normally 132, but because Brooks Koepka's in the field, the reclamation project thing or whatever that it's called, with him being in there in the field, they actually added 2 more people. So now we're up to 135, which is absolutely fine. Again, Scotty Scheffler withdrew, Bud Cauley withdrew. There's a few other guys that withdrew. So be on the lookout for that. Again, I will update the database, so those golfers are taken out of it, and then you can just focus on the golfers that are in the field, the active golfers in the field. So other things that we can look at: average winning score. Remember, here's what I would say. What we could do: we can select all of the years and then deselect all the ones that were in the fall, if that is something that interests you. So 2020, 2021, and 2022. So 2020, 2021, and 2022, we'd get rid of that. And now we have all springtime Houston Opens. But of course, you know, the majority of those tournaments were played at the Golf Club of Houston, which is an entirely different golf course. So maybe it's just not worth looking at golf course information, period. The one thing to note, though, bombers tend to do well at this golf course. I don't have the data to show you that, but if we were to look kind of at past leaderboards, and I'm going to use my spreadsheet here to show that. If we look at 2025, this is 2025, and we just look at the top 10, Minwoo bombs it, Gary Woodland bombs it, Scheffler bombs it, Valimaki does not, Toasty does, McIlroy bombs it, Wyndham Clark bombs it, Penrith bombs it, Gerard not so much, and Mac Hughes not so much. So out of the 10 golfers I just named, 7 of them were considered bombers, or considered bombers. We could also go down, you know, the entire top 20, and we'll find more bombers than not. If we go to 2024, Jaeger bombs it. There's Toasty again. He bombs it. Scheffler, Finau, they bomb it. Taylor Moore, not so much. Dietrich, yes. Billy Horschel, not so much. Grazerman, yes. David Skins is one of the weakest golfers out of this whole grouping. And then Aaron Rai isn't much of a bomber. So, I mean, we have, what, a majority of golfers there that bomb the golf ball. The thing to note here, though, you don't have to have 6 golfers in your lineups that are bombers. Because, I mean, we see Mac Hughes up there more times, and this is the second time I've named him, 2024, 2025. And Billy Horschel was up there. Taylor Moore is up there. There are a lot of golfers that wouldn't be considered bombers that have had success here. So it's not always looking for success, or with bombers, I should say. But if I was building a lineup, 4 of them are probably going to be bombers. And then not so, and then the other 2 maybe not so much. So, and I also would say this, most models are already going to incorporate that into a golfer's ranking. If they are known as bombers, then they're just going to be rated higher. So yeah, I do see a chat or a question in the chat saying, can you explain what overseed means? Of course. So I'm going to go to the golf course stats. And again, this is at SweetSpotDFS.com under Fantasy Tools Golf Course Stats. You will see that the overseed grass, the little checkbox there says yes. That means you want to look at the overseeded grass. Ryegrass on the tees, fairways, rough, and then on the greens we have POA. For the layman, for, you know, person that doesn't really know what overseed means or doesn't really know much about agronomy or grass in general, just like anything else with like vegetation, there is a growing season and then there is a dormant season. Dormant seasons just mean they fall asleep. Like growing conditions just become nothing. And basically the grass hibernates. It's the best way that I can put it. It turns brown most of the time. So this Bermuda grass that it typically is throughout the year will brown out. And what most superintendents do, especially on the PGA Tour, because they have to create a product for us to watch that's enjoyable, they want to make sure the entire golf course is green. This is kind of in the it's kind of getting out of the winter season, heading into the spring season where the grass can actually grow, like the Bermuda can actually grow. It's just going to be very spotty. It's going to be very inconsistent, and therefore the PGA Tour doesn't want to see that. Us as viewers don't want to see that. The players don't want to play on that. They want to play on consistent golf courses where the grass lengths are pretty much the same, whether you're in the rough, fairways, or anything like that, but also the consistency of the blade of grass is the same. If you played on dormant Bermuda, it is so much easier than playing on like full strength Bermuda. Ryegrass isn't that difficult to hit out of, but if it's thick enough, it can be. It is kind of it's a thinner type of grass, and the root system is much different than Bermuda. It's much easier to hit through ryegrass than it is to hit through Bermuda. But if a superintendent says that the golf course is overseeded, you must take them at their word. They would not say that it's overseeded if the entire golf course wasn't overseeded, or the majority of the golf course wasn't overseeded. Some people like to make the argument like, well, it's going to be like half overseed and half, base layer. That's not usually how it goes. That isn't how it goes. When you overseed the entire golf course, and you lay a ton of seed per square foot, And it's, so what that overseed will do, don't get me wrong, the dormant Bermuda is still there, but it is very shriveled up and small. And I will say this too. The ryegrass is now the king of the golf course, whereas if there is Bermuda still on the golf course, it is very small. It's very peasant-like. Let's put it that way. When they decide they're going to go back to Bermuda, they'll go and use the aeration machines. If you all know what that is, it's they go in and they plug holes, or they basically take out cores on the golf course and they make holes. That extracts the old grass, and then they'll take those clippings and they'll go bring them somewhere, usually a graveyard, essentially, for grass, a graveyard of grass. And then they'll fill in the Bermuda seed. And then what will happen over time is that Bermuda will take hold. It will then just push out the ryegrass that might still be left over, and then it will be completely Bermuda. So there is no reason to think that this is a Bermuda golf course. I will say, on the cheat sheet, the Google sheet, if you are in here, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, if you scroll over, I am using Bermuda like I did last year. Or not last year, last week. And I did this last year as well too. Why I'm using Bermuda? This has more to do with region than anything. So we have the total amount of Bermuda events that a golfer has played on, their average finishing position, their top 10 rate, and then their last year average finishing position. So just last 365 days, how has this golfer done when it comes to Bermuda stats? And then I have POA. If you're on the website, you could use bentgrass. You can, okay, so if you're on the website, let's go here. And we go back to that tool that I had, the strokes gain stats. I should have kept the date in here. Let's just update that really quickly. And we go to grass stats. I have a grass stats filter. Again, remember, I'm going over the tournament and golf course stats to give you guys the data points to use to research which golfers you want to play. So here we can go ahead and just click yes for overseed. Just right away, we click yes. Now we know all the golf courses that have overseed on it. We can go ahead down into the greens and put in POA. But I would say you could also put in bent grass. I got no issue with that. As long as the overseed bucket, well, if it's overseed, that's how you like then put in POA for the greens grass filters here. You don't have to put overseed if you just want to use bent grass. These greens are going to react a lot like bent grass. There might be some POA profiling that comes with it, you know, like the budding of the flower, because this technically the grass buds like a flower. The buds will cause the golf ball to plinko a little bit, but this isn't like California POA. This isn't like Northeast POA in the summertime. This is just really flat POA. That's why I think you can use bent grass. There will be some, like I said, there will be some profiling of POA, but it's just not going to be as drastic as California POA or Northeast POA. So that's my 2 cents. If you want to use the filtering stuff, you certainly can. I think I even have specific grasses you can look at for overseeded greens grass. So you can actually go into here and go to POA Trivialis. So that's kind of cool. If we X out of this, we can see, you know, in the last year, which golfers have been the best on overseeded POA Trivialis. We've got Ryan Gerard. Remember, Scotty's not in the field. The whole thing didn't update before I went live, so my apologies on that. But we have Ryan Gerard, Nikolai Højgaard, lots of people liking him. I love Chris Goddard up this week, and a good reason to play him. He's really good on POA Trivialis. JT Poston, which is interesting. Michael Thorbjornsen, Dylan Wu, Minwoo Lee, Sudarshan Yellow That's a golfer that's going to be very popular this week in the 7K range, and then Jake Knapp. If you wanted to look at putting stats, that's fine too. I'm not that big of a stickler when it comes to putting stats and looking at green grass, because that makes sense, right? Greens, you were looking at the turf grass on greens. Obviously, that's going to affect putting. So why not look at putting stats? You can do that. It's not a big deal. And you can see all the golfers that are good here. Again, I'm giving you data points to use so you guys can research the golfers that you like, and also kind of just showing which golfers are the best when it comes to those stats in the meantime when I'm going over the data points. So maybe you already have your eyes on some golfers and you're just like, you know what? I actually do like Harris English this week, and the fact that he's really good on this POA Trivialis overseed, like, sure, why not? I'll play him. I got no issue with that. Or Denny McCarthy. Oh yeah, by the way, after this video goes live and it goes into replay, if you type in Denny McCarthy into the chat, you will have an entry into this Denny McCarthy signed golf ball. I've had this for over a year. One of the guys that I golf with in the summertime sees Denny McCarthy, I think, once a year at a conference, and he always gets golf balls signed by Denny McCarthy. So I probably could get more. But if you go ahead and type in Denny McCarthy after this goes live, don't do it in the live chat right now. I'm not going to remember it. I'm not going to see it. Do it in the replay after this goes from live to replay. Type it there, and you'll be in the running. If Denny McCarthy wins this week, you can have a chance to win a Denny McCarthy signed golf ball. So throwing that out there for you guys. I guess going back to the golf course, is there really anything else to talk about? You can use any pieces of information on here, by the way. Believe it or not, shot shaping kind of is a big deal here. It looks like it's got quite a benefit to hitting some of the hole locations. So we have off the tee shot shapes. Are there 5 par 3s here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 par 3s. I was looking at the shot shapes for off the tee, and I noticed it only totaled up to 13 instead of 14 typically. It's like, what the heck is happening there? And it looks like fading the golf ball matters more than not. However, off of the tee, there isn't much trouble here. Minwoo Lee almost lost this event last year because he hit a ball 60 yards offline. It still wasn't in trouble, but it was pretty darn close to being in trouble. And that was like on hole 18. He almost gave it away, but because it's pretty wide open, it wasn't a big deal. So shot shapes, yeah, not that big of a deal. Byron, I see you in the chat. I don't know if you ever knew this about SweetSpotDFS.com, but if you click on the little flag icon here, the course stats filter, you can scroll down and see shot shapes. So this looks at all the golf courses and what shot shapes are preferred or what are not. If you wanted to come down here for like fades, you can go ahead and put a minimum of 2. Like I want to see all the golf courses that have a minimum of 2. I want to see all the results for the golfers on golf courses that require at least 2. And over the last year, we can kind of see who are the best golfers. Again, Scotty Scheffler, not in the field. Website didn't update it. But Brooks Koepka, Sudarshan Yellow, Ryan Gerard, Ryan Fox, Sam Burns. Oh, this is weird. What are all these golfers' typical shot shape? Is it a fade, I wonder? Min Woo Lee, not so much. But yeah, pretty much the entire grouping up here all hit fades off of the tee box. So interesting, right? Those are data points you can use, and you can find that on the golf course stats at SweetSpotDFS.com. Link in the description. So again, use whatever stats you want to see here. Are we back? Okay. My whole thing just disconnected. I don't even understand what happened there, but everything disconnected. Byron, I know you can't hear me. I got an audio like thing telling me that things disconnected, and yeah, it took a while to get back. So thank you for letting me know, and appreciate the patience. I heard something disconnect. You are correct. You are correct. All right. So I wanted to look to see the rough. That's what I was getting at before all my stuff disconnected there. Rough 1.25 this year, 1.25 last year. Oh, it was 1.25 in 2024. Very interesting. Okay. Well, what I wanted to see was why was the tournament score as high as it was in 2024. I thought maybe the rough would be a different length, but I think last year there just wasn't any wind, if I remember correctly, whereas in 2024 there probably was more wind that was affecting it. Actually, I do remember that par 3, like which hole was it? Hole 15. Yeah, that par 3 where Scotty like missed the green short when he was dueling Steven Yeager. He missed the green short on that one. I do remember the wind blowing quite a bit on that hole. So yeah, he chipped up and like he basically chunked his chip, and then I think he 2-putted. I think he got a bogey on the hole. Maybe he made a miraculous par, but yeah, I think that's where like Steven Yeager stiffed it and then made a birdie or something like that. But yeah, that's the golf course and tournament information part of the video. Loss of words there, but anyways, okay. I'm going to check in with the chat before moving on to pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. Skylar Bro goes, I once met John Daly at a bar in Florida. I think I remember you telling me that in a different video. I can't remember exactly what it was or when it was, but I swear to God, I've heard that before. I bought him a beer. He decided to buy me a shot. That is awesome. Would you say a bomber is distance over 310 years? I know you meant yards. I would say a bomber is anyone that has a ball speed of over 170, 174, 175. I would consider a bomber anywhere north of that. If you're going south of that, that's where your yardages become less than 300. If anything, maybe bombers greater than 178. I think I would agree. If I were to like argue with myself there, 178. So just look at ball speeds over 178, and that's where you're going to find your bombers versus non-bombers. Distance is too difficult to like if you're looking at distance, it could be a downhill, downwind day. You have no idea. Everybody might hit a 360-yard drive, and then their averages get affected for the short period of time. Like I know what I'm trying to say. I just can't find the words, and I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out with. I would go with ball speed. Long answer short, ball speed. Just look at ball speed. Byron, he said after the show, it was my fault of saying hi. It was my way of saying hi. Yeah. And also Byron just likes to be, he likes to be a defector. He likes to distract. That's all he's trying to do. What's going on, Logan? Nice to see you. Late, had a best ball MLB draft. No big deal, man. And Retail Ripper, what's going on, man? Minwoo, Goddard, Knapp, Lamprecht, Pontius Pilot, Nyholm, and Sergeant Gordon Sargent. Those are all your bombers, right? That's kind of I'm assuming those are the names. Is that also your lineup? Because I might have an issue with that. Because I don't think it's. I think it's good. There's 3 good golfers, and then there's 2 bad golfers and 1 okay golfer. Pontius Pilot is your okay golfer. Lamprecht and Sargent are just god awful. Okay, let's move on to pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We get a big relief this week when it comes to salaries. If I go to the cheat sheet and we take a look at the top of the board, remember Scotty Scheffler is not there. It starts with Chris Goddard up at $9,800. Now, if Scotty Scheffler wasn't in this field to begin with, again, remember he withdrew, but if he wasn't in this field before DraftKings made salaries, we would have a group of 10K golfers in Minwoo, Goddard, Burns, and Koepka, for sure. For sure. But now we get 9K golfers, and now this becomes kind of easy, honestly. I forget. Let's take a look. In 2026, let's go throughout the tournaments that have happened. Let's start with, I think the American Express is going to kind of give me a similar tournament that had those salaries. No, we had 3 10K golfers. Just kidding. We had a tournament that was similar, though. Which one was it? Here, this is what I'm going to do. We'll keep 2026 active. We have it by salary, but then we can also go by tournament name. Let's go by tournament and then go by salary. That's how it is. Okay, so it's a lot like the WM Phoenix Open, where you had Scotty Scheffler at 14.5. Xander was at 10.5, so yeah, that doesn't really quite work out, but then it was just those 2 golfers and a ton of 9K golfers. And if you look, 9K golfers did well. Now, this isn't the pass optimal lineups for the Houston Open. What I'm kind of getting at and why I'm kind of covering this is when I do go to the historic salary builds and we get more into just the Houston Open, the salaries are going to make a big difference, because having this much, or first of all, having as many 9K golfers as we have, that's a whole thing on its own. But starting your lineups in the 9K range, we're going to want to look at lineups that do that. So we want to pull in other tournaments that are similar with the salary structure that we have this week. That's mainly the reason to go over that. So that was the WM Phoenix Open. Let's take a look at the Valspar. I don't think we had this. Well, we had only 2 10K golfers at the Valspar. And then it went into the 9K range where we have 2 9K golfers that finish inside the top 10. That was very similar to the WM Phoenix Open. We had 3 golfers in the 9K range there that finished inside the top 10. If I scroll down to the next tournament that I have on the list, the Players Championship, we had 3 10K and above golfers. So, but 9Ks and high 8K golfers did pretty well there. Go down to the Genesis. We had more 10K golfers, so it doesn't really apply at the Genesis, doesn't really apply at the American Express. We kind of already looked at that. And then Sony, did we only have two 10K golfers there. We did in Henley and Griffin, and you can see 9,600, 9,100. You're gonna find success in the 9K range. You don't have to get cute and pepper the 8K range this week. We can start with the 9K range, and I think we'll be fine there. I mean, Puerto Rico Open, you had one 10K golfer, and then your $9,600, $9,500 golfers did well there. Farmers Insurance Open had enough 10K golfers to not look at. Cognizant, that's where our 10K golfers withdrew. Remember that? And that started with 9K golfer, $9,900 Shane Lowry. And so there's one 9K golfer. Then we had 95, 94, 93, and 9,000 all finish inside the top 10. Brooks Koepka, by the way, in that lineup or in that field. So you had four 9K golfers there. Now, most of you guys probably already know, like, duh, I'm going to play a 9K golfer because, like, the AK range kind of sucks or whatever, but it is worth kind of going through. In my opinion, I think it's smart to go through this kind of stuff because it just gives you more confidence building the type of lineups that just tend to make sense or tend to do well, at least for this year. We could look at other past years. We can look at, again, historic salary builds. This is a tool at SweetSpotDFS.com under fantasy or historic salary builds. We were just looking at the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups tool. If you want to go and do the exact same thing I did, you certainly can there. But yeah, let's put in the Houston Open. I use short names for most of the tournaments. So if we take a look at the Houston Open and we look at the most successful lineup builds, just to get a little peek at it, you're going to see there's a lot of 10K golfers that have done well because on average, we typically have quite a few 10K golfers at the Houston Open. So I'll use that pass optimal and GPP winning lineups page and type in Houston Open here. And then I will select 2025 and we can look at the salaries that happened in 2025. We had a 12-7 Scotty and an 11-7 Rory. Wow. It's a bomber's course and those two guys finished inside the top 10. That's crazy. We go to 2024. We can see Scotty was 13,000 and then we had three other 10K golfers. This tournament isn't shy of using 10K golfers. We had we had five in 2022. In 2021, we had, oh my God, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10K golfers. In 2020, you had 5 10K golfers. 2019, we had 5 10K golfers. 2018, we had 5 10K and above golfers. Like, this tournament is never short of 10K golfers, except for this year because Scotty Scheffler, they decided to put at 14,800. Can't tell. I'm a bit sour when it comes to this type of pricing. I'm glad there isn't a 5K range, but Scotty Scheffler at 14,800 is ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's $400 more expensive than he should be. But not including other 10K golfers, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. This is the Houston Open. This isn't a major championship where we need to have soft pricing. Just doesn't make any sense to me. And I mean, if we were to go ahead and put a filter on this, we can see how many golfers. There are 10 9K golfers. We typically only see 7 on average for any other golf tournament. Just 7, but we have 10. If you wanted to build a lineup with 3 9K golfers, by all means, go do so. Do so. And quite frankly, if we were to go to the historic salary builds, let's remove the Houston Open and only select 2026. You're going to find a lot of the most common lineup builds this year with the whole Scotty Scheffler pricing. 998,776, 999,776. Start in the 9K range, ladies and gentlemen. Put as many 9K golfers that you possibly can. I mean, 3 is the most. I would start somewhere between 2 to 3. That's how I would build my lineups this week. If you want to go the 8K range, go for it. I don't got an issue with it. I can tell you right now, there was one lineup that had 4 8K golfers in it. It was your GPP winner for the Players Championship. Had 4 8K golfers. The max price was $8,900 in that lineup. So if you want to go check it out, or if you want to do that, go for it. I got no issue. I'll be starting in the 9K range because, quite frankly, I think the best golfer in the field is in the 9K range, and that's Chris Gotterup. Chris Gotterup is, I think, by far and away the best golfer in this field. This is a perfect golf course for him. It fits. It's going to fit his eye. Fades matter more here at this golf course than, well, they're more preferred at this golf course than any other shot shape. Chris Gotterup primarily hits a fade. Like, that is his go-to. And I was telling Byron this in Discord, just private messaging. Sorry, I didn't really include everyone else, but I was watching the Hard Knocks of Golf. If you guys watch that, the Players Championship, Chris Gotterup was one of the golfers that they followed. Towards the end of his round, towards the end of his round 4, he had said to his playing partner, "I can't wait for or to his caddy, I can't wait for the Houston Open." He literally said that. "I can't wait for the Houston Open, where I can just hit it wherever I want." That's what he said. Or maybe not the whole wherever he wants part, but he can't wait for the Houston Open is what he said. So yeah, Chris Gotterup by far and away is going to be the guy that I'll be putting in most of my lineups. And Byron, I heard you talking about how you don't like Sam Burns. I don't know why. Sam Burns is a great fit for this golf course, bombs the golf ball. Yeah, he's been struggling as of late, but I mean, he has a 13th place finish and a 6th place finish all within this year. He's capable of doing that here at this event. This event is going to bring, anybody in this 9K range pretty much are bombers. Ricky Fowler's probably has the lowest ball speed out of all of these golfers. These would be your bombers. This is like your elite grouping of bombers, the 9K range. So if you want to load up and play 3 of these guys, by all means, go do so. Like, what a smart idea, honestly. 3 9s, 3 7s. There you go. Or 3 9s, 2 7s, and a 6. However you want to build it, that's probably the best way to go about it. Yeah. That's all I have when it comes to pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. You can use these tools however you want. You can apply filters to them, different filters. I obviously just use the years and the tournaments and all that stuff. That's it. But you can use whatever filters you want. Just know when it's on the historic salary builds, you're going to be filtering out by tournaments that follow your filters. You're not going to find golfers that follow your filters. I mean, if you were to go ahead and type in like Scotty Scheffler's name, I actually don't remember what happens. I think it just... okay, it filters out all the tournaments that he's played in. He's not a part of all of these lineups. It filters out all the tournaments that he's played in. So that's actually a smart thing to remember for future reference. So anytime Scotty Scheffler's in the field, what are the most common salary builds? That's literally what this means. But anyways, yeah, you can use whatever filter you want. 3 lineups that I keep track of. I forgot to mention that. GPP winning lineup, the optimal and the SweetSpot optimal. SweetSpot optimal is the best lineup that uses $49,600 of the salary and above. That's usually what it is. If it ends up being the optimal lineup, then it'll be the second best lineup. So what I mean by that is if the optimal lineup also has a lineup that uses $49,600 of the salary and above, then I will find the second best lineup, and that will be the SweetSpot optimal. So just throwing that out there. All right, that's all that I have to talk about with historic salary builds and past optimal and GPP winning lineups. All right, I see the chat moving. Let me take a look. Retail Ripper says my long shot GPP entry. Okay, that's the Minwoo, Gotterup, Knapp, Lamprecht, Nieholm, and Gordon Sargent. Skylar Bro says Scotty withdraw makes this arguably the most interesting DFS week I can remember, considering the strength of the field. It is a pretty good strength of field. I forgot to mention that during the tournament information piece, but it is pretty high, and you can definitely see that right here, 395. If we were to actually just remove all the filters. Oh, I didn't see that's what this did. Oh, interesting. If you remove all the filters and just select 2026, we can see what all of the strength of field numbers were for each of the events. Obviously, when Scotty's not in it, the strength of field isn't as good. And I guess this event ranks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th. It's very similar to the Sony Open, which Chris Gotterup won. Very similar. cool. Okie dokie. Let me take a look more of the chat. Logan says, I'm playing Hammer. So Cole Hammer, Mason Howell, and Jackson Suber as my bombers. You do you, bet. You do you, pal. That's a bit too different for me. Load up on that 9K range and Zung J. Okay. Time to fire up the burner accounts. Not enough likes. That's true. If we get to 25 likes, I'll give up 5 memberships to the channel, which I forgot to mention. Byron, back 9 bets, goes, so where would you say the 10K range ends in the current crop of 9K guys? I kind of said it, right? The four at the top. I did mention that. I think these 4, Brooks and up. I think Brooks would have been 10K even, like flat. 10K flat. Burns would have been 10-2. Goddard up would have been like 10-5, 10-6. Minwoo would have been 10-8. I don't think anybody of this group goes into the 11K range at all. Logan goes, Sam, Brooks, and Chris would be 10Ks and up. Well, so would Minwoo. Goddard up has a 185 or 184 ball speed. I'm studying the list now. Yes. Dan, swipe a YT coming in saying Penge, bomber, and playing nicely. He is a bomber. He's a really good player. Wheels up says Polo. Are we talking? Am I supposed to say Marco? Retail Ripper goes, Byron, are you going to use the sweet spot this week? 100% says Byron. If he has a bad week, he can blame me, but he's not going to. I got faith in that, buddy. Nice. Still trying to learn how to use it. You can see here next when Big E does his thing with it. That's right. I will. Sorry, I came late. Yes. Some girls don't like that, Byron. Some like when you come early. Lombardi Lee. Hey, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. He's saying hi to everybody in the chat like he typically does. Love that. That's what she said, says Retail River. Yeah. All right. We are at the time. Oh my God. We didn't even do a weekly subscriber giveaway. I forgot. We were going to do the giveaway. And then I can't believe I did all of the announcements at the beginning of the stream about reminding you of all the giveaways. And then I forgot to do the giveaway. Okay. We've got a weekly subscriber giveaway. And then we're going to do a roll call afterwards. Here's going to be your roll call question. Who in the 9K range are you going to play this week? That is your question. I'll type it in there for you guys. There you go. That is roll call number 1. Just give it to Joe. Skylar, she didn't win last week. You weren't here and she didn't win. Maybe it's a you thing. Maybe you are Joanne's good luck. That's probably the case. Anyways, let's run this right meow. LBD Titan. That is a new winner. And it took just 1 entry, ladies and gentlemen. 1 entry. LBD Titan, wherever you are, I think that was his first time ever commenting on the channel. Wherever you are, I need to know what your Venmo, your PayPal, your Google Pay, whatever, you just won yourself $5. These entries go into the monthly subscriber giveaway, just so you guys see. You see right there. And now I will remove this. And we are on to Houston. Bro, shocker. Logan says Brooks. I agree. John Bizzle, what's going on, man? John Bizzle says Adam Scott. I like it. Skylar Bro says Joanne owes me. Denny Barry. Denny, nice to see you during the live streams. Usually see your comments afterwards. AJ Love says Brooks. I love it. Lombardi Lee going with Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler. Maybe they're one of the new subscribers. They could be. They could be. Skylar, are you going to give me a name, pal? Or are you just going to type everything in, everything else but a name? Joanne doesn't count. What I mean by that is Joanne isn't the name that counts for a golfer in the 9K range. Again, this is roll call number 1. This gets you an entry into next week's giveaway. Does this give you an entry into the Masters giveaway? That is a question. Yeah, why not? This gets you an entry into the Masters giveaway as well. So you're gonna want to type in, if you are here, you're watching this live, you're gonna want to give me a golfer from the 9K range, because if we can get that win the pot number up to a large number, it's the only, you want as many entries as possible. Hammer the like button. That's right. All right, Skylar, we get your name in there now. Nathan, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. I also well, I do see you in the live chat every once in a while. Danny goes, been sitting here trying to put my youngest to bed, or I wouldn't be up this late. Yeah, just put my voice out, wherever your kid is, just put my voice on. I'm sure they'll fall asleep. Oh, Joanne is 10K plus. Whoa. She's in that Scotty Scheffler territory. That's why Joanne never wants to play Scotty. She's competing with him on price tag. Okay, I'm on to you, Joanne. I now understand. I get it. I get it. You're higher than Scotty. 15,000. Yep. All right, we're going to deep dive the bucket system. For those that are going to watch this on replay, we're probably going to talk about this for an hour, all the way up until the next roll call, because we're going to get into the nitty gritty as to, do the projections make sense? And if not, we're going to make the updates on the optimizer. So be on the lookout for that. Here we go. All right, so we have two ways of looking at the bucket system. One, we can use the website, which does not have projections on it just yet. There will be at, I should probably aim for the Masters to get this done. I probably have said that in the past, where I'm going to put projections in here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, on the spreadsheet version, I've got these columns right here that are projections. And oh, by the way, if you go to the cheat sheet and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, again, to the spreadsheet version, you click here. On the bottom, there's a tab called the bucket system. You drill into the bucket system. I'll zoom in for you guys to show you what it looks like. Look at that. You guys also have access to the min and max projection. LBD Titan coming in, just throwing out his Venmo. Will you email me right there, LBD, with that information? SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. You can delete that comment too if you don't want anyone else to know, because maybe people will request money from you. You never know. They'll feel slighted that you won the giveaway and not them. But yeah, and also just a reminder, since you kind of came in late, you might be behind. Hit the live button down here. Depending on internet speeds, you could get pushed back because your system isn't buffering fast enough. So hit that live button every once in a while. Just throwing that out there. Okay. What I was saying was, with the cheat sheet, the Google Sheets that I'm providing you, you can look at the projections right there. You also don't have to worry about that if you're using the optimizer, because I have the projections right in here. And we actually have some updating to do, because I didn't update these projections when Scotty Scheffler withdrew, because I can already see this 1 to 4 is going to change. So here's what we're going to do. Again, you guys can follow along with me using this cheat sheet, the Google Sheets. Again, I just showed you how to get there, so I'm not going to do it again. but rewind if you need to look. I'm going to close out on each of those. I'm going to go into mine, and we're going to go by stat by, or we're going to go stat by stat. I'm going to remove the active filters in here. We don't need to look at those. And basically all I'm going to do is, are the projections accurate? And I'll get your guys' feedback too. If we think, select all 27, if we think that the projections are correct. So if you want to follow along, I'm going to go ahead and go into here. I'm going to clear everything out except for the last year. Skylar Bro, thank you for the super chat. Here, I'll give you one of these, buddy. Thank you for all that I do. I appreciate it, man. It's fun. I enjoy doing this. But yes, go into the stat categories, clear out everything, and then put the last year filter in here. And that way we can look at each of these buckets. And really all I'm going to do is just look at the minimum and the maximum projection. And then again, you guys can follow along with me. So I'm going to look at this number and I see it's a 1 to 4 projection. I guess I did update it. Never mind. It was 2 to 5 with Scotty in the field. It was 2 to 5. So I did update it. My memory is not good. But if you go to the cheat sheet version, and we look at the last year ones, I would go put a filter on this. If you guys know where the filters are with the Google Sheets, put a filter on, and then under last year, clear it out and just look at the ones. Here's what we're trying to figure out. If we look at the projection says 1 to 4. What this means is we are projecting 1 to 4 golfers to finish inside the top 10 from this bucket. 1 to 4. So when we look at the golfers here, I have this sorted by salary. I think that's the best way to look at this. Sort it by salary, and of all the golfers, first of all, does the minimum make sense? Do we think at least one golfer from this group is going to finish inside the top 10? I can't say I'll say this. How can you not think at least one golfer? We've got the past champ, and if you want to see what their finishing positions were, you can find it under the last year column by course fit or under course fit. We have the past champion. Then we get Chris Gotterup, who I think is the best golfer in the field. Number 1 in my model, probably number 1 in most people's models. Holy crap, such a good course fit. Yeah, I just don't see why not. But we also have Harris English, Ben Griffin. Don't sleep on Ben Griffin. Byron Lindeque. I know you're a person that does not care for Ben Griffin, but he is in a bucket that the projection's pretty high. Here's the other question to answer. So the minimum of at least one of the names we see, yeah, it makes sense. At least one of these guys is going to finish inside the top 10. I got no doubt about it. Could we see up to 4? I mean, Minwoo Lee's capable. Gotterup's capable. The Harry Ish is capable. Ben Griffin is capable. Have doubts on Harry Hall. Ryan Gerard seems like a decent fit. He's capable. Wyndham Clark, we all know he's erratic off the tee. He hits the ball so crooked, but he hits a fade. And I think this is probably a good golf course for him to play somewhat decent. So he's capable. Mitchell's capable. Pendrith might be one of my favorite values. One of my favorite values in like $7,900. I got no issue going to Taylor Pendrith. I also really like Sam Stevens. Couldn't care less for Jaeger. Ryan Fox is probably going to be one of the most popular 7K golfers, right? And I think for good reason. So yeah, he's capable. Woodland's capable. I've already named more than 8. I think probably at least 8 golfers that I think are capable of finishing inside the top 10 from this bucket. So I'm going to keep the 1 to 4 projection. So on the optimizer, I have 1 to 4. I'm going to keep it 1 to 4. Now, the rest of these, I have a bunch of zeros until we get to the last year 6, which are golfers who did not play. Kind of have that already marked in here. I will say this, the last year 5s, golfers who missed the cut last year at this event, I have this as a 1 to 3, but this 2.29 is so close to being under 2 that I'm pushing this minimum down to 0. Everything that I've ever learned going over this over the years, I know that this should be closer to 0. But we can quickly look at last year 2 through last year 4. See if more than 2 golfers from each of those buckets might be inside the top 10, or we could see inside the top 10. I doubt it, but we can just quickly look. Last year 2. I'm gonna eat my words right away. I'm eating my words. Last year 2s. Knapp, Kitayama, Thorbjornsen, Rasmus, Day, Finau, Thompson, Echeverria, Meisner. These are all names that are capable. I mean, I might have to switch this to a 3. Here's the thing, just so you guys are aware, the projections in here use the success rate as well as how many golfers are in the bucket this year compared to like how many golfers there typically is. So that, yeah, the numbers are pretty similar, but an 11% success rate means of all golfers that were in this bucket, all golfers that were in this bucket, only 11% finish inside the top 10. But we don't know what those fields were until now. If you go to the bucket system on the website and you look at last year 2s, just drill right into the last year 2 section and scroll down, we can go year by year and try to figure out golfers that were in this bucket. Would it make sense? Like it's failed as poorly as it has? You know, 11% isn't, it's a bad number, right? Well, we have Woodland, Clark, and Penrith that finished inside the top 10 last year. So there were 3 golfers. So already with the projection, but there's more than 12 here, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We had 20 golfers in last year's field that were in the last year 2 bucket. That is 8 more than we typically do. So yeah, having an extra person finishing inside the top 10, that makes sense. And if you look at the names, like we could look at the names, right? Let's go by salary. Salary is probably the best way to look at this. $9,900 JJ Spawn missed the cut last year. $9,400 Davis Thompson finished 27th. So the top priced last year 2 golfers were not successful whatsoever. But then we get 2 5th place finishes in Clark and Penrith. Jacob Bridgman, before he became kind of the stud he is this year, missed the cut. Sahith Theegala, I think this is where he had injury issues, so we don't really have to look too far into that. Ben Griffin finished inside the top 20. And so name value, if I were to compare the name value here versus the name value that we were just looking at here, I would give kind of the nod to this group, right? We got Finau, J-Day. I know that's Byron Statfish. I understand why. But he's still a good quality golfer. So Finau, Day, Rasmus Højgaard. I don't know about him. But you get Michael Thorbjornsen, Kurt Kitayama, and Jake Knapp. You know what? There are question marks, right? Did Jake Knapp, is his back okay? A small group of people. Maybe 2 is the right number to have as our maximum. I could see Tony Finau crushing us. I could see Jason Day crushing us. I never, ever have faith in Jason Day. He used to be blacklisted until he won me a GPP. So I can't hate him too much. Boom or bust, right? Rasmus was just horrible last week. Almost dead last. I think he might have been dead last of golfers who made the cut. Yeah. But anyways, if you want to go look at every single year on the website, you certainly can. You can see all the price tags as well and the finishes. Sahith, Siwoo, those are good names in 2024, but the rest of them not at all. Okay, so 2024 doesn't really compare to this year. 2023, there was no tournament in 2023. Duh. 2022. Aaron Wise was your top guy. Well, he had won this event. He had won this event at some point in time. I don't remember what year. Riley, Hughes, Shank, Yeager. Oh no, Wise didn't win this event. He won the Craig Ranch event. I forget which one that one is. It's a different Texas event. Yeah, the names here aren't even like high quality. It goes 9-8 into the 7s and the 6s right away. So yeah, not super great there. 2021, we actually had high price golfers and they did well. So here we go. Here's our comparison. It's borderline to me. What do you guys feel like? Should this projection for this bucket be a 0 to 2 bucket or a 0 to 3? 2 or 3 in the chat. This isn't going to go towards a roll call or anything like that. I'm just curious. 2 or 3 for our projection, especially when we're going to build lineups later tonight. 2 or 3. Personally, I think I keep it at a 2, but these 6, like this guy here, Jesper Svensson, I feel like is a decent value or just a decent play. Like I got no issue playing him. The mustache man, Chandler Phillips, got no issue really playing him. Davis Thompson being $7,500. What last year or last week he was $8K plus. Like that seems like a good value. But there's a lot of question marks for the golfers that are up here. Kurt Kitayama, by the way, is in the elite grouping. If you watched the video Sunday night with Byron and I, he is in the elite grouping. We got a bunch of 2s, huh? Okay. AJ, I worry about your memory. Retail Ripper, thank you for the congratulations on the 900 subs goal. Appreciate it. Okay, so 2s. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep it at 2 then. I think that's a great. Okay, good call, audience. Let's go to last year 3s. This is a 0 to 2 bucket as well. It starts with Fowler, Pearson Cootie, Rogers, Sungjae Im, and then question marks. No question mark for Logan in chat who loves Jackson Suber. Damn, that's a good grouping of golfers. Fowler, Cootie, Rogers. Fowler is in the elite grouping for those that don't know. So Fowler, wow. I think I'm cool with this being a 0 to 2 bucket as well. It's another good bucket of golfers, but yeah, I'm cool with this being a 2. Last year 3s, 0 to 2. Oh, that's what we're looking at. Never mind. This is actually showing a 0 to 1. 9 golfers in it this week, where we typically see 12, 6% success rate. Never seen more than 2 inside the top 10. Never seen more than 1 in the optimal lineup. Never seen more than 1 in the top 5. This is one of those buckets to actually really look into. So last year 3s, why has it been kind of as crappy as it's been? Which golfers have represented this in the past? A bunch of 7 and 6K golfers. I mean, Chris Goddard was in this bucket. Pearson Cootie. This was last year's event, by the way. I'm looking at 2025. Sam Stevens was in that 18th. Like these are okay. 2024. Yeah, this is where it really sucked. Look at this. Luke List, loser. I mean, he's one on tour, but Davey Boy Thompson, Taylor Montgomery, the worst golf swing in golf. Sam Stevens should have been better than that. Wow. Okay. So kind of a bad, selection of golfers there. 2022, you had Keith Mitchell in the 8K range. So I would say this 8K and above looks good. We did have that one year in 2025 where the 6Ks did okay. Here's where a 6K golfer did well is Kramer Hickok. Texas boy, though. Remember that. Texas boy. Sungjae was in this bucket before, finished 19th at $10,900. So when he was kind of a favorite, didn't do so well. 2020, you had Mac Hughes, the top guy in that bucket. Okay, so I'm going to keep this at a 2. I've seen enough. I'm okay with that. Last year, were you just looking at last year 4s? No, last year 3s. Okay, let's look at last year 4s. Thigala, Svensson, Ryder, and Hoffman. Yeah, no, that can still stay at 0 to 2, and I don't even care if I have to play these guys or not. The next one is a 1 to 3 bucket technically, but I have it as 0 to 3. Do we absolutely need to play anybody from this bucket? And I can already tell you right now, no. There's a lot of talent, there's a lot of potential, but I do not need to anchor around any one of these golfers. I do not need to tell the optimizer to at least play one. Not at all. I think it'll just naturally happen. So I'm not even going to try to force it to pick one. Now, up to 3, the max is 3. I don't see more. I would never play more than 3 golfers from this bucket. Starts with Nikolai in 92, and then we got a good group of 7K golfers: Smalley, Rye, Castillo, Grazerman, Potgieter, Torbjorn Olesen, Doug Gim, Seamus Power, and Matty Schmid. Oh, and Chris Ventura. Yeah, those are fine. Last year's 6s here. We want to play at least one of these golfers, right? That's what we have for our summary. 1 to 4. I already can tell by some of these names. We got Sam Burns in the bucket, Brooks Koepka, Marco Penge, Adam Scott. 4 really good 9K golfers. So I could see 2 of these guys finishing inside the top 10. Shane Lowry, Willie Zalatoris. I'm pretty cool on Will Zalatoris. The whole back issues and stuff. I'm never gonna trust that. Jordan L. Smith, I like. Hao Tong Lee, I like. JT Poston showed up in one of the stats that we were looking at earlier. I don't mind that. Oh, he showed up. Did he show up when I was doing the filtering by Grass Stats? I think it was when I was filtering something out. He showed up as one of the top performers in the field. I don't remember what it was. You'd have to rewind. But yeah, JT Poston was there. Hey, anybody have eyes on TGL? What did Jupiter win by chance? I'm very curious if Jupiter won. If Jupiter won, do they play again tomorrow? And if they play again tomorrow, you have Sahith playing in that, and you have Tom Kim playing in that. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just say, nope, we're going to go play the Houston Open instead. But I do see Tom Kim down here, and we've already talked about Sahith. So, interesting to note. We also got Denny McCarthy down here. Oh, and John Perry. What up? So John Perry's probably going to show up. Maybe he won't. Never mind. He's 76th in my model. I was going to say he's probably going to show up. Oh, these are the Euros that just don't have enough stats to get a boost. Same with Christopher Wrighton. I'm going to have to bump their stats up just a little bit. Because I think they either don't have enough recent form or course history or something to that effect. And that's why their scores are being they're being hurt by it so much. Billy Horschel, by the way, he needs to play well in order to get into the Masters. So maybe that's a good enough reason to play him. Daniel Brown is better than 123rd in my model. I know that for certain. Yeah, the Europeans, the DP World Tour guys, not getting any love in my model. So going back, does this bucket make sense to do 1 to 4? Yes. Yeah, I agree. If Jupiter won, they would have to run it back. Tiger missed a 4-footer. Well, that makes sense. They would have played again tonight. Okay. Jupiter lost. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the updates. It doesn't surprise me. Jupiter had a bunch of lovable losers on the team. Max Homa, Tom Kim, Kevin Kisner. Just a bunch of lovable losers. Okay, last week. So now we're going into last week buckets. 0 to 2 last week 1, 0 to 2 last week 2, 0 to 2 last week 3, 0 to 2 last week 4s, 1 to 3. I bet you that's a 0 to 3 on here. Yeah, 0 to 3 last week 5s, and 2 to 5 last week 6s. So golfers who did not play the Valspar. I mean, normally we have 61 golfers in that bucket, but we only have 35 this year. Crazy. I mean, it's a reduced field. That's part of the issue. But we have way more missed cuts in the field this week than we typically see from last week, the Valspar. Okay, So let's go down the line. We have 0 to 2s all the way until we get to the last week 5s, and then that's where we have to make some decisions. So make sure you have everything selected under last year, and now we go into last week 1. I'm going to try to fire this through as quickly as possible. 0 to 2 is the projection here. Brooks and Penge headline this, and then it's a bunch of decent golfers. But yeah, 0 to 2 is absolutely fine by me. I'm not trying to play 3. I'm probably not going to have that many Brooks and Marco Penge lineups together, which I think is probably the best way to do it. I think either or, and then grab one of these guys down here. I know some of you guys have been talking about Woodland. Sung J.M. seems like a good value since he's kind of playing better than he has in the past, or since coming back, I should say. So yeah, 0 to 2 is fine. Last week 2s. This is a 0 to 2 through and through. There's nobody that I'm going to even try to anchor here. No names worth even talking about. Last week 3s, we've got Nikolai and Pearson Cootie, who are AK and above. You also have Alex Smalley. There are some good names here, but no one that I'm trying to anchor around, so 0 to 2 is just fine. Going to last week 4s, this is a 0 to 2, and just by volume alone makes sense. I am not trying to anchor around any of these golfers, but you do have Billy Horschel in it. And again, like I said, he's got to play well in order to get to Augusta. Rasmus is so interesting. I do want to play Rasmus, and Carl Phillips, by the way, he hits it pretty far. Like he's kind of a smasher of the golf ball. At $6,200, if you're looking for a low price golfer, don't have issues with that. So, okay. Yep, that was pretty quick. Got through all those. Last week 5s, 1 to 3 or 0 to 3. It's going to be a 0 to 3 for me, dog. Like, yeah, Ben Griffin is fine, but the rest of these golfers, I mean, he drops into the 6K range pretty darn fast. And we've got a majority of our 6K golfers. I haven't updated Matt Kuchar's price tag yet, but he would be in this bucket. And it really doesn't change anything. If he's a 7K golfer, it doesn't really matter. The quality of golfer in this bucket is not very high. Not very high. We do have a lot of those Euro golfers that aren't popping in my model because of them being DP World Tour golfers. So I'll probably boost their stats a little bit or their score a little bit when it comes to building lineups. But there's not enough of them to really care that much about, if I'm being honest. So yeah, we'll keep this one 0 to 3. And then I guess we don't really have to look at the last week 6s. You got the majority of your 9K golfers there. And that projection was what, 2 to 5? Yeah. Because we have no 10K golfers, I got no issue anchoring around 2 of these guys in the 9K range, or even dropping into the 8K range, because there's a good chunk of 8K golfers that are also in this bucket. So got no issues with that. All right, let's clear that out, select all, and then we'll get into the next bucket, which would be course history. Let's look at our course history bucket. 0 to 2 last week 1s. Or I'm sorry, course history 1s. 0 to 2 course history 1s. There are only 4 golfers in that bucket, by the way, so that's probably an easy 0 to 2. 1 to 4 course history 2s. We have 5 more than we typically do on average. 2 to 5 course history 3s. I can tell you right now that's going to be a 1 to 5 most likely, unless there are just some really good golfers that we want to anchor in there. This 2.07 is so close to being under 2 that I almost just going to make it a 1. Then we have a 0 to 2 course history 4s, 0 to 2 course history 5s, and 0 to 2 course history 6s. So it's 0 to 2 outside of course history 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and take a look. Course history 1s. 4 golfers, right? Minwoo, Gerard, Kevin Yu, Toasty. I'm not going to anchor around 2 of these guys. I don't care. I don't even know if I'm going to anchor around any of these golfers. I imagine the optimizer is just going to select these guys naturally. And I really don't have any issue playing any of them at all. I'm going to save course history 2 and 3 for later, since they're the only ones that we want to play at least 1 golfer in. So let's go to course history 4. This is a 0 to 2 bucket. Yep, that makes sense. That's going to stay a 0 to 2 bucket. We'll go to course history 5s. Højgaard into the 7K range. That will also stay a 0 to 2 bucket. And then course history 6s. Golfers who've never played this event before. That's what this bucket is. Course history 6s. Penge, Smith. So we got nothing but DP World Tour golfers. That's what you can see pretty much right here. Michael Brennan. Tom Kim's never played this. That's interesting. 0 to 2. I'm tempted to make this a 0 to 3 bucket. There are enough names that I'm pretty interested. This 1.91 is so close to being over 2 where I would say 3. We've seen a max of 3 in the optimal. Okay, I'm going to make this a 3. There we go. Our first change of the night. Course history 6s. We're going to make that a 0 to 3 bucket. So again, if you have the optimizer or you request it, you're going to want to change this. I'm changing it. Like, it had its default values in here, but I am changing it on my end to better suit what I think are the correct projections. So now we want to go into course history 2 and course history 3. Course history 2, we want somewhere between 1 to 4. So that's a pretty large number. I think that's going to probably just be simple. Not a lot of golfers in it, honestly. You got 2 low min price guys, Charlie Hoffman and Aaron Wise. Don't really care for them, but we got some expensive dudes in this group. Goddard, Fowler, Kiriyama. By the way, these golfers here are in the elite grouping that we covered Sunday night, and we wanted to play somewhere between 1 to 2 of those golfers. Could play up to 3, but 2 is like the sweet spot in the amount of golfers we want to play. So hey, if you want to anchor around Goddard and Kiriyama or Goddard and Fowler, by all means, go do so. And hey, you're going to have enough salary, you could throw a Ben Griffin in that lineup or a Michael Thorbjornsen. Projection for this bucket, again, 1 to 4. You know what? I'm going to make it a 2 to 4. Oh, no. We're at course history 2s. I'm sorry. This is a 1 to 4 bucket. I'll keep it at 1 to 4. That's fine. That is fine. Moving on to course history 3s. This one we might want at least 2. Yeah, Burns, Koepka, Knapp, Scott, English. Okay. Here's where we actually have to have a serious conversation. Between the 2s and the 3s. Course history 2, course history 3. If we anchor around 2 of these golfers up here, keep that in mind. If we anchor around 2 of these golfers, and then we go and we look at course history 3s, likelihood we can't anchor around 2 of the golfers that are $8,700 and above. So now the thought process comes in, and we anchor around 2 of these golfers that are low priced. You know, we don't have to pick names. The optimizer is just going to go and try to find these golfers. Looking at the name value, I think yes. I don't have an issue going to a Pearson Cootie. I also don't have an issue going to Keith Mitchell. Taylor Pendrith, like I said, is one of my favorite values. Sam Stevens is fine. Alex Smalley is fine. Don't really care for Sahith, but I mean, the guy sprays it all over the place. This should be a decent golf course for him. Sung JM, sure, $7,500. He did not get a huge bump in price even after finishing so well at Valspar. Sure, sign me up. Then you got Grazerman, who I think is also a good value here, and then Ryan Fox, which would probably be the most popular 7K golfer, but this is pretty good. If we want to keep this 2 to 5, I think that's fine. I think the optimizer will select 2 naturally. I'm gonna keep it at 1 to 5. I do have it on the optimizer as 1 to 5. I'm gonna keep it at 1 to 5 because we're gonna make our own choices on anchoring around these golfers, and we'll find probably what we need in the course history 3s. Seriously. So, moving on to the next bucket, recent form. Recent form 1s, 0 to 2. There are only 2 golfers in it, so we'll keep it 0 to 2. We don't even have to look at that one. Recent form 2s, we want 1 to 3. I think that's pretty good. But let's see if maybe we want to up this to 4. So we'll take a look. Remember, select everything in the course history bucket. And then we will go to recent form 2. Now, the question is this a 1 to 3 bucket or is this a 1 to 4 bucket? That's kind of the question I'm trying to answer. And with all the 9K and above, it can't be a 1 to 4 bucket. I'm just not, I kind of already just know. Just feeling it out, I think, because you can't play 4 of these guys. It's going to be too difficult, and you're not going to want to, you know, pull from a 6K range just to make sure you can get 4 of these guys in. And I don't think there's 2 or more of these golfers that we really want to play. One of them, yeah, stick one of them in your lineup with maybe 2 of these guys, and then you've got your 3. But yeah, I don't think going to 4 is a smart thing. So we'll keep that there. Recent form 3s, 3 to 6. My question is, should it be 2 to 6? That's what I want to know with the recent form 3s. Marco Penge and Sam Burns, the only 9K golfers and above. Then we get a slew of 8K golfers: Lowry, Thorbjornsen, Hall, Gerard, Clark, Højgaard, and Cootie. Huh. Do I think this is a 2 to 6? But I don't think this is a 2 to 6 bucket. I know it's not a 3 to 6 bucket. I am not trying to play I'm not trying to play at least 3 of these guys. We do have some overlap with some names. Sung Jae is going to make a lot of buckets work. Grazerman's going to make a lot of buckets work. Heck, even Christopher Wrighton is going to make a lot of buckets work. Billy Horschel will make buckets work. Denny McCarthy will. Like, there are a lot of overlap golfers in all these other buckets that we want to select, you know, X amount of. So I'm going to keep it 2 to 6. That's fine. I'll keep it 2 to 6. I've got no issue with that. I know it says 3 to 6. I wonder if that's actually a 2. Yeah, 2.99888. So we round down, we get 2. It's kind of a cheater's way of doing it, but that is what we're gonna do. Okay. Recent form 4s, 0 to 2. The rest of these buckets, 0 to 2s. I imagine we're not gonna have an issue with that whatsoever. 0 to 2. So Ben Griffin, Day. Then we go down to 7,400. It gets to the 6K range pretty fast. So yeah, I'm not forcing any of these golfers in my lineups. They show up. That's fine. So this is actually an argument for Byron. Ben Griffin being in this bucket with Jason Day. These are 2 of your golfers that you just don't really care that much about. They're not in a very good bucket for course or for recent form, I should say. So hey, almost a 0 to 3 bucket, but I just don't see 3 golfers. It had to be these 3 or actually a combination of golfers from here. Yeah. Do I have it as 0 to 3 for recent form 4s? Here. I do have 0 to 3. I think I'm changing that to 0 to 2. I don't care. I'm not playing more than 2. That's fine by me. If I get beat by any of these guys down here, that's okay. I will keep that at 0 to 2. Or I should say I'll change it to 0 to 2. Recent form 5s. This is a 0 to 2 bucket. It has Matt Kuchar in it. Do we see anybody that we really have to play? No, we do not. So that's a 0 to 2. Recent form 6s. Hao Tong should not be in this bucket. Dang it. Hao Tong needs to be updated in a bunch of buckets, by the way. I changed his name. Instead of being Hao-Tong, I made it all one name, and that just messed up everything. So I will have to go back and update all of this. Hao Tong should not be in this bucket. He should be in a different bucket. But by the way, Hao Tong doesn't change anything for me in any of the other buckets. So even if like some projections kind of go up or kind of go down, nothing's going to change. He's not a golfer that I have to absolutely play. Just be on the lookout for that. Recent form 5s. Okay, they're just going to all be 0 to 2s. Oh, we already went through all of them. Never mind. My bad. Okay, cool. Those are all the core buckets. The only other real bucket I care to look at are the strokes gained buckets. Strokes gained 1, we want somewhere between 0 to 2. What we can do is actually sort by strokes gained. I've got this color coded by the strokes gained bucket. So 0 to 2, yep, not trying to play more than 2 of these guys. That's fine. Strokes gained 2, 1 to 4. This bucket starts with Minwoo. We get a bunch of 9K golfers in it, by the way. Yeah, definitely 1 for certain is going to finish inside the top 10. Up to 4? Yeah. Well, I'll say that actually, maybe not. Because we'd have to think, I think maybe 2 or 3 of these guys. My Stream Deck is doing weird things. It's blinking in the corner of my eye. Hopefully I wasn't disconnected for any of that. Could more than 2 of these guys finish inside the top 10? I suppose it's possible. That's the case. I'm not sure I'm really trying to play anybody else. It's a 1 to 4 bucket. The four, oh, well, whatever. It's fine. 1 to 4 is an okay projection. I was going to try to get cute with either making a 2 to 4 or a 1 to 3. But if it wants to select up to 4 golfers, I guess that's fine. I just don't think the optimizer is going to. I just don't think it's going to. Strokes gained 3, 2 to 5. Okay, this is where price matters. So we'll have to figure it out. Does 2 to 5 make sense? We get Goddard up, so another reason to anchor around him. We also have Kitayama, another reason to anchor around him. So like if I was combining forces with Byron, I'd be putting Goddard up and Kitayama together. We also have Brooks Koepka here, which I don't find an issue to play this week, and Marco Pench. So if you are kind of one of those believers in Marco Pench, got no issues with that. I feel like Thorbjornsen is such a good like a glue piece. So for me, like I really like Goddard up, so I'm most likely playing Goddard up. After that, it kind of gets difficult because I can either drop to the 8K range and play a bunch of 8K golfers, or I can actually grab one more 9K golfer. Do I want Kitayama, or would I want someone like Ricky Fowler? I'm using the elite grouping that we covered Sunday night, and I guess here's what the elite grouping is. If you go to the cheat sheet, we'll go ahead and we'll erase all of this. Go into the crosshair, and what we kind of want to do, I think this is what Byron and I did. We went course history 1 to 40 and recent form 1 to 40. And then what I'm going to do is get rid of the blanks. So not strokes gained 6. That's crazy. Why would that erase everybody there? Oh, because I'm selecting it. I want to select everybody except for the strokes gained 6s. So course history. So I'll look at 1s and 2s. This is the elite grouping we were talking about. Minwoo, Goddard, Fowler, and Kitayama. Almost feel like there was more, right? Let me double check. Was it 44? Oh, I don't remember. Did it add these 2 guys? It did not. No, it did not add Gerard and Finau. So it was what we had it as. Actually, what do I have here? I can actually add 1 more golfer. Keith Mitchell. So if you want to extend it a little bit more, you certainly can, but it did not include those 3 golfers. It was Kitayama, Fowler, Goddard, Minwoo, and Scheffler. Okay. So with that being said, Minwoo's also in this bucket with Ricky Fowler. So there's 2 guys right there. Then we get Goddard up and we have Kitayama. Those are our main dudes. It's Minwoo, Goddard, Fowler, and Kitayama. Could it be a mix and match? Someone from the strokes gained 3 bucket and someone from the strokes gained 2 bucket? Could be. Is it Fowler? Like we want to select Fowler in this lineup to go with Goddard up? We just want to play 1 of the elite groupings, or do we want to play up to 2? Definitely interesting choices, right? Let me guess you don't remember. Well, of course I don't remember what the exact number was. Jeez. Okay. 2 to 5 for that strokes gained 3 bucket. 2 to 5. Well, if it is 2 to 5, maybe that's the perfect reason as to why to anchor around Kitayama and Goddard. But I kind of like, if I'm building some lineups, I don't mind doing like a Fowler Goddard, a Fowler Kitayama, like do that kind of combo. I also don't mind a Minwoo Kitayama. I'm most likely not ever doing a Minwoo Goddard lineup. But like that other combination, so it would be like Goddard and Kitayama, or it would be Goddard and Fowler for that mark, like that elite grouping I was talking about. Or it would be Kitayama and Fowler. So it'd be something like that. And if I were to make those anchor plays, then if I wanted to find at least one more strokes gained 3 golfer, Thorbjornsen seems fine. Gerard seems fine. Stevens seems fine. Pendrith, like I said, one of my favorite values in the 7K range. That seems fine. Sung Jae Im seems fine. Jordan L. Smith seems fine. There are a ton of golfers in this bucket to anchor with any of these golfers right here. To make that projection of 2 to 5 make sense. So yeah, I'm going to keep the projection 2 to 5. I think that's wonderful. I think I have that situated in here for strokes gain. 2 to 5 right there. Okay. Strokes gain 4, I have 0 to 3. Let's take a look. Maybe we don't have to do 0 to 3. Hall, Wyndham Clark, Jaeger, Grazerman, Echeverria. Yeah. I mean, there are some decent names here that I guess I don't mind playing 3 of. But yeah, I don't have to at all play up to 3. I don't even know if it's smart to. None of these guys give me confidence whatsoever. Okay, we're changing that. So I had strokes gain 4, 0 to 3. I think a large part of the reason I did that was because this number is so close to being over 2 that because I've seen this for so long and I've done this for so long, I just kind of got ahead of it and was like, I should just make this a 0 to 3 bucket. But that to me is a 0 to 2 through and through. And then strokes gain 5 and strokes gain 6 are just kind of, you know, not really good golfers. I can't believe Shane Lowry is actually in this bucket. Holy crap. And so too is Billy Horschel. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is where I'm actually going to keep the bucket projections the same and just keep it a 0 to 2, but there is an argument to make this a 0 to 3 bucket. Logan's Jackson Suber's down here. Well, Logan, I hope you're not trying to play Suber with any of these guys. I'm keeping this a 0 to 2 bucket, and then your only other 2 golfers, or I should say the 2 golfers in the strokes gain 6 bucket, Cole Hammer, Casey Russell. Yeah, there's no, I mean, that's a no-brainer. 0 to 2 makes sense. I'm not going to go over the salaries by golfer, but we can go through the bucket combination or the bucket projections as to which salaries we're going to want to kind of look at. I have 1 to 3 9K golfers, 1 to 4 8K golfers, 1 to 4 7K golfers, and I have 0 to 2 high 6Ks, 0 to 2 low 6Ks, but on the optimizer, I kept the max for all 6Ks to 2. I don't want to see more than 2. But you can see all of the minimums of at least 1. So in all of my lineups, actually most of my lineups, I'll have at least 1 9, 1 8, and 1 7. I might change this around. I might make this a 0 so I can play 3 9K golfers to go with 3 7K golfers, or 2 7s and 1 6. So that's the only adjustment I would make. I don't even know how many 8K golfers do we have in the field this week. Hit the eraser mark, go to salary 3s, that's the 8K range, X out 11. So we have more than usual. 10 is your average for 8K golfers. So yeah, there are more. So volume wise, it might make sense to have multiple AK golfers in your lineup. Just going off of volume wise. Okay. What time do we have? We're going to get through the Marquee Tee Times, and then I'm going to do roll call number 2. We'll go from there. And before we get into Marquee Tee Times, let me check the chat, because I do see quite a bit. So we already went through the TGL stuff. Woodland does rip it. He's historically a good to great approach player. It's all about consistency with him at this point. Also, he's an atrocious putter. He also has PTSD from his surgery. So you never know when that's going to pop its ugly head. Hard to play when you are under anxiety. Just throwing that out there. Logan goes, oh, are we likely to say that he showed a lot, even though he melted down and lost the lead? Or do you think there will be some carryover and emotional baggage causing him to play heavy this week? No. No. He's fresh. He had a really good performance considering how poorly he played at the Players. So he went from the Players playing poorly to Valspar playing great. I'm sure he's actually in higher spirits than the meltdown on Sunday, which you would lead to believe, or make us lead to believe. Let's see here. Jupiter lost, Jupiter lost, Jupiter lost. If Jupiter won, they would have run it back tonight. Lost. Billy Ho, let's go. Hey, Skylar Bro with another super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. I'm saying a lot. I don't need to be saying Logan goes, I hope Tiger plays the Masters so I can fade the has-been to miss the cut. Ooh, feisty. Ryan goes, how about Tiger Woods, y'all? He laughing, having fun, swinging the club. I didn't see anything. Dan Grands goes, Ricky has Masters motivation. That's another golfer that has not yet qualified for the Masters is Ricky. So him and Billy Ho. Not that it matters, but it could be a thing. Yeah, it could be. AJ goes, I'm dying over here. Byron, I've been here for 5 years, keeping Eric on point, but he doesn't remember. That's true. I don't remember. Logan's as a hater. That's a hater attitude. Retail Ripper, not sure if we have ever had 9K only player pools, but if so, would be nice to find the pass optimal for it. You wouldn't be able to have all 9K golfers, right? Oh, you mean 9Ks without 10Ks, right? Something like that. I don't think I have a counter. Actually, here. Retail Ripper, this is what you do. Under Golfer 1, so you first of all come to historic salary builds. Come to historic salary builds. Under Golfer 1, drill into the 9K. Woo. Now, every lineup that I have recorded that starts with a 9K will show up on the right side. Furthermore, a piece of advice that I would give is I'd go into the crosshair right here. And for salary used, I don't like to leave a lot of money on the table. So I would come in here and put in whatever number you're comfortable with. I usually do 49.6. But if you wanted to do 49.5, you take a note of the number right above my head, although it's behind a little bit of a hazy, a little smoke screen. It says 252. So if we hit enter, that changes to 146, and now you can see the lineups right here, what tournament it's at, what type of lineup it was, the salary used, the max salary. Then you can see all the lineup builds, whether it's 999, 776, 39, just whatever, all the different types. 998 and 37s is the most common lineup build if you start with a 9K golfer. That's throughout all of the years. And then it's 998876, 88877, 998776, 999776. You add that up with the 9988. Never mind. I was gonna say you could add those two together, and that number would be greater than this one up here. But yeah, this is how you take a look. I'm gonna clear out the filters for me. But there you go. That's how you can do it. And then also, I forgot to mention this, but what I would also do is for each of the tournaments and the years, I would then go into the pass optimal lineup, this page right here, and just select the tournament, you know, type in whatever tournament name it is, select the year that you saw down here. And then that way you can look at the golfers, like who the golfers actually were. So, okay. I will actually do that roll call right now. Yeah, let's do roll call number 2. So roll call number 2. I know I just went over the buckets, but you guys won't remember. Who's your winner this week? And if it's the 9K golfer that you posted, that's fine. That'll get you an entry into the giveaway. All right, what happened in the chat? You guys, tons of stuff. Logan goes, it is. I hate Tiger. So I mean, you're entitled to feel and think however you want. Skylar says, how do I become a member? On YouTube? If you want to become a member, there should be like a little dollar, like you super chatted. The same thing where the super chats are, you should be able to find the join button. I think. How do I become a member? With pride, I say that, says Logan. That's the Tiger thing. Skylar goes, I won $445 on the Knicks money line. There you go, man. Congrats, dude. Nice. I put in a lineup for the Nuggets game. Logan goes, Goddard, Koepka, Griffin, Zalatoris, Im, Suber is my lineup, Eric. Not that crazy. Okay. You say so. I'll win another 1,000 if Jokic hits 40 plus RPA or PRA. It costs quite a bit of money though. Well, good luck. I think he will hit it. You're welcome. I spent $18.30 on the parlay. Wow. Knicks money line is good because they are chasing Boston, Detroit for seeding. Correct. That's why I bet it. All right, Skylar. Whatever you say. Skylar says Eric and then Joanne. AJ loves Brooks Koepka. I don't mind it. Logan with Im. Sungjae with the winner. Ryan Henson coming in with Finau. Joanne with Adam Scott. Joanne, I like that pick. Nathan Johnson with Minwoo. And Lombardi Lee with Ryan Gerard. Okay, guys. Not bad. Those are some good selections. I'll let anybody else who's catching up with the stream a good reminder. If you're not live, select the little live button right down there. Hit it, and then you'll come right up to where we are. You'll have like a 10-second delay, I should say, but you'll be close enough. All right. Let's get into the Marquee Tee Times, and then we'll start building lineups for people. All right, if you're following along with me on the cheat sheet, again, you can access the cheat sheet by going to SweetSpotDFS.com, under Fantasy Tools, cheat sheet. Scroll down to this cheat sheet right here. Click here. This will open up a Google Sheet where you can follow along with me, because we're going to go over the Marquee Tee Times, and it's the only place you can do that currently. So what you will do is you'll put a filter on that sheet, and under group rank, you will just go A to Z for your group rank. And I need to zoom out just a little bit. You get every golfer in the field, or every golfer in the Marquee Tee Times right here. The rule here is you want 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times to anchor your lineups around. 2 to 4, and you don't want them from the same group. The reason being, we have looked at this for the last 5 years, and of the last 5 years, 90-some percent, 91, 92% of golfers from the Marquee Tee Times weren't paired together with anybody else in their Marquee Tee Time, I should say, and in the GPP winning lineup or the optimal lineup or the sweet spot optimal. Any 3 of those lineups. So that's why we kind of cover that. That's why we go over this, to give you a more narrowed player pool to select golfers from. So group 1 is Brooks Koepka, Jake Knapp, Michael Thorbjornsen. This is a bomber's paradise. This right here, I like this group. They all hit fades. Actually, Jake Knapp hits it kind of both directions. But I like this. This grouping is going to be good for each of the golfers, in my opinion. Skylar with another super chat. Hey man, appreciate you. What I would say, okay, here's what I'll say. I'll show it to you how to do it. If this is going to be the music that will be playing pretty soon. If you're watching mine, it's going to look very similar to this. There's a little join button right here on mine. There should be. If I actually, here, hold on. I'm going to do a incognito. Go to SweetSpotDFS, or YouTube, I should say. Sorry, YouTube. Go into SweetSpotDFS. Hit live. Yeah, there's a little join button right here. Click the little join button. I would have to be signed in, but this is where you do it. You'd sign in right here. Join, sign in. I also believe in the chat, there's also a little money symbol here, like a little square money symbol, and that's how you would join that way as well. Yeah, become a white tier member, Skylar. That way you can watch my Wednesday night streams. LBT Titan says nap. Okay, I'll add you. Retail Ripper says he's undecided. Okay, we're good. All right, back to the Marquee Tee Times. So group 1, Koepka, Knapp, Thorbjornsen. Group 2, Goddard, Burns, Jason Day. Goddard, Burns, Jason Day. Here's one of those wonderful things about this whole process. If you're Byron Lindeque and you don't like Jason Day, he's your stat fish. And Sam Burns was also considered, it was your second choice for stat fish. Chris Goddard just seems like a perfect pivot from those two golfers. In the same group, one of the Marquee Tee Times. That way you can avoid Jason Day and Sam Burns altogether. Start with Chris Goddard. That's one of the beautiful things about the process. In group 3, Minwoo Lee, Adam Scott, Tony Finau. So Joanne says Adam Scott as her choice, and Nathan Johnson says Minwoo Lee. You both could be right. I mean, one of you could be right. Both of those golfers are in the same Marquee Tee Time, so you wouldn't pair them up together. Group 4 is Ricky Fowler, Shane Lowry, Wyndham Clark. if you are a Ricky Fowler truther this week, you don't have to struggle, or I shouldn't say struggle. You don't have to deal with the struggle that might come from Shane Lowry or might come from Wyndham Clark. You can just ignore them. Retail Ripper, I'm a lifetime member, by the way. Did you just do that? Or have you always been and I never put the names together? Retail Ripper. I can't remember all of my lifetime members. Oh yeah, by the way, I could have done this a while ago. If you want to become a lifetime member, there are 20 remaining. This is a what do you call it? It's a limited offer. $600 will get you, it's a one-time purchase, will get you access to my website for every year that I have it. If you check other golf websites, you will see like the yearly plan, the annual plan almost matches my one-time purchase of becoming a founding member. And really all this does is it accelerates me. It accelerates what am I trying to say? I mean, you are, holy crap, words are just fleeting my brain right now. Let's just say you're setting me up for success in the future. It gives me a good baseline to move forward with building new tools. Gives me a little bit of cushion where I don't have to worry about, other things that go on. So anyways, Retail Ripper, if you are a lifetime member, is your name Shane, by the way? Are you my member Shane? You don't have to disclose it to me. You can email it. You don't have to disclose it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay. Anyways. Moving on. Group 5. Nikolai Højgaard, Keith Mitchell, and Max Grazerman. Yeah, I like each one of those golfers, and I would not be surprised if the optimizer selects golfers from this group constantly. It's a pretty good group. Group 6, we have Gerard Thigala and Yellow Miraju. What a lineup. Hey, if you wanted a good reason to play Yellow Miraju, this is a pretty good reason. Or Sahith or Ryan Gerard. Group 7, Harris English, Patrick Rogers, and Billy Horschel. Griffin, Yeager, and Echeverria in Group 8. And in Group 9, you have Pearson, Hootie, Sung J.M., and Ricky Castillo. These are a lot of golfers that are super interesting to play. I love it. I don't mind anchoring around any of these golfers. That's awesome. Okay, so all my members with badges next to their name, we're creating lineups. Give me 2 to 4 golfers that you would like me to build lineups around, and that's what we'll spend the rest of the stream doing, is building lineups. You, as we're building, you can tell me to boot anybody you don't like. You can give me instructions. As long as you give me 2 to 4 golfers to build lineups around, that is all that I ask of you to do. Good luck, Skylar. Have a good night. Thank you for all the super chats, by the way. That's awesome. Appreciate you. Okay. Ryan says I said Fino. Yeah. That's also in that group with Scott and the others. Got it. AJ Love, Min Woo. We have that, don't we? Have the woo somewhere. There it is. Woo! I could dance. I'm back because of the music. I heard it from a distance. Yeah, we're up. We're we're lineup building now. Okay. Minwoo and Castillo. I am going to change. Actually, no. I'm not going to change the ownership. We're going to keep it as is. We don't really run into any issues. Okay, where are you, Castillo? Castillo! I do not have anything set up for AM PM. By the way, this was your most optimal lineup running this. Just with all of the constraints in here, but not anchoring anybody in. Ricky Fowler, Ben Griffin, Thorbjornsen, Gerard, Jordan Smith, and Ryan Fox. It's a pretty good lineup. Pretty good. Skylar, since you spent some money, you absolutely can give me a lineup. Again, I keep it set just for members, but yeah, I don't care. You can. You've super chatted enough. Okay, here we go. First lineup for Mr. AJ Love. We get Minwoo into Thorbjorn, Ryan Gerard, Taylor Pendrith, Castillo, and Jordan L. Smith. That's a pretty freaking good lineup, dude. Love it. Next lineup is Minwoo, Brooks Koepka, Harry Hall, Castillo, Fox, and Horschel. Great lineup there. Lineup after that is Minwoo, Harris English, Ben Griffin, 9, 8, 8, and another 8. So Rasmus Højgaard, Castillo, and Chris Kirk. Maybe Chris Kirk is okay. I don't know how I really. Yeah, we'll kick him out, but that's a choice that you can make yourself as well. You like Chris Kirk or not? Minwoo, Burns, Griffin, Castillo, Hoey, and Emiliano Grillo. Grillo is a great 6K option, especially at this event. I like that lineup. Minwoo, Fowler, Keith Mitchell, Rasmus Højgaard yet again. You like Rasmus? I don't know if AJ's in there. Okay. I'm gonna need to become a lifetime once this dude's channel blows up to $5.99. It's gonna be a bargain. That's right, man. If he hits the 40 plus, all right. Well, now I'm invested. I'm invested. See if he does it. I liked Kirk 10 years ago. Okay, yeah. So perfect reason not to play him. Next lineup has Ricky Fowler, and I like this: Minwoo, Fowler, Mitchell, Rasmus. Did we? Oh, we didn't save that other lineup that had Rasmus in it. Okay. We can save one Rasmus lineup. That's fine. And the fifth lineup: Minwoo into Brooks, Harris English, Castillo, Mac Hughes, and Denny McCarthy. Hey, man. If Denny wins with that lineup and you type in the comment section Denny McCarthy, not only will you have a good lineup, a good overall lineup, but you will also have a Denny McCarthy signed golf ball coming your way. Denny McCarthy. Okay. Those were 5 lineups for Mr. AJ Love. AJ, those weren't bad lineups. I like those lineups. Joanne would like Goddard and Scott. I like this combo quite a bit. We got Group 2 and Group 3. Here we go. Both Højgaards are top 10 in ball speed. That's right. They're right next to each other. The twins. They hit the ball almost identical. And they're almost identical twins. All right. First lineup for Joanne is Goddard, Adam Scott, Pearson Coody. Love that. Stevens, Sam Stevens, Aaron Rai, and Saad Theegala. It's a pretty freaking good lineup. That's a really good lineup too. Love that lineup. Lineup after that is Goddard, Scott, Lowry. Sure, why not? Davey Boy Thompson, why not? Max Grazerman and Woodland. That's another good lineup. Goddard, Scott, Thorbjornsen, Gerard, Fox, and Kevin Yu. This is a great Kevin Yu golf course. Holy crap. Joanne, that one gets painted for me. That one is a lineup that I like. We will paint it red. I double tapped the run optimizer. So we skipped Chris Kirk. I accidentally tapped it. Hey man, that's just God's way of telling us don't play Chris Kirk this week. Goddard, Scott, Harry Hall, Rasmus Højgaard, Taylor Pendrith, Vince Whaley. I don't hate it. Vince Whaley's not like super sought after for me, but it's fine. Next lineup we get is Goddard, Scott, Ben Griffin, Keith Mitchell, Sam Stevens, and Patrick Fishburne. This is actually a really good Fishburne golf course. I like this. We're getting some of these good 6K diamonds in the rough. That's what I would call it, diamonds in the rough. All right, Joanne, those were good lineups. This week is actually not bad for building lineups. This feels good. Like a lot of these lineups just automatically look good. The music is a vibe. Yeah. All right, Mr. Henson, Thorbjornsen, Finau, Yellow Miraju. Thorbjornsen. Finau. Group 1, Group 3, and Yellow Miraju. Actually don't even, $7,000? I forget what's this price tag. Yellow Miraju. Where are you? There he is. 7,200, Group 6. Woo, that's a good value. That's a good value. Here we go. It breaks. Of course it breaks. Of course it breaks. Is it an ownership issue? It might be. It might be an ownership issue because it probably needs to pull from the top 9K golfers. Okay, so we're going to change this. I think 59.59 works for me. These are fine right there at 27%. Yeah, that's exactly what the issue was. Goddard, Penge. Marco Penge. We get a Penge sighting. Thorbjornsen, Finau, Hoey. Love that. Love Rico Hoey. And Yellow Miraju. Not bad. Not bad. Goddard, Thorbjornsen, Smalley, Rai, Finau, Yellow Miraju. It's a good lineup too. Goddard yet again. Thorbjornsen, Zalatoris. Okay, if you're feeling frisky, Zalatoris is not bad. Finau, Woodland, Yellow Miraju. That's a pretty good lineup. After that, now we have to pivot because we can't use Goddard anymore. I'm actually gonna move that to 54. We get Sam Burns, Thorbjornsen, Harry Hall, Finau, Jordan Smith, and Yellow Miraju. That's 49,000. Ooh. So Goddard is the only thing that's making this lineup work. That's leaving $1,000. I didn't see these other lineups leaving a ton of money on the table. Okay. Well, they look like good lineups. Not a huge fan of that. Let's try these again. Let's try these again. Okay. We need to... There's got to be some ownership issues. I guess what I'm going to do is just put 59% for a lot of these guys. I'll go down to here to 9K, 59. And then we'll go 25 for all the 16%ers. And then we'll go 16% for all the 14 percenters. Sure. Yeah. We'll try again. He's at 11 halfway through the first. There we go. I'd rather go Woodland because he showed something last week. That's not bad. All right, so we get Burns, Thorbjornsson, Harry Hall, Aaron Rai, Finau, Yellam Raju, leaving 700 on the table. Okay, so this is just a bad combo of golfers. What is the main reason? So Sam Burns and Chris Goddard have to be keeping, they have to have something in common, and it looks like it's the last week's 6 bucket. Well, no, we don't need any of those guys. Are we at a max of a particular bucket? Two course history 2s so far. That's fine. 3 or 2 course history 3s. That's, or recent form 3s. That's fine. 2 last year 2s. Oh. Okay. Let's see. Is that the real reason? Because he can't play Knapp then. Can't play Kitayama. That shouldn't be enough. Can't play Højgaard. Can't play Day. Yeah, that shouldn't be enough. You can't play, actually you just can't play Brooks or Jake Knapp because they're in group 1. You can't play Finau because Minwoo Lee's in group 3. Or, I mean, you can play Finau, but you can't play Minwoo and you can't play Adam Scott. So those are you're just gonna have to leave a lot of money on the table, Mr. Henson. If you're playing these lineups, you're gonna have to leave a lot of money on the table because all of the golfers you chose, not all, Sudarshan's fine, but the other guys, you're kind of taking away from. Or here, it's going to be nothing but Goddard up lineups. Or not? The hell? Actually, Eric, I'm seriously considering a lifetime without Jokic win, but I heard you don't have ownership. Is that a thing you're considering? And how the heck do these sites even project that? Skylar, I personally don't care about ownership, but I listen to, first of all, I listen to my lifetime members. So there have been requests that lifetime members have provided that I have added. So for instance, one of my lifetime members wanted the total own percentage right here. And so what it required me to do is go into my database and calculate all the total ownership percentages, which wasn't super difficult to do, but it did require time to update, and I got it updated. I added it. So that way, you know, that particular lifetime member, I was able to add that. I also don't care about total ownership, but I added it because he said that he thought it was a good value for him. And I was like, well, if it's a good value for him, it's probably a good value for everyone else. When it comes to projected ownerships, that's a whole art in itself. And I think I would probably need to hire someone to do it or figure out a way to do it myself, which I just don't. If I'm being honest with you, like a lot of this stuff is automated and it's easy to do. I feel like if you're going to get the correct projected ownership, you kind of have to feel it out, and it requires time, which I don't think I'm going to have. I could get projected ownership from someone else. So like if Byron, you know, wanted to provide me that, if he has it, I don't know if he does, I could easily just upload it to my site, and then that way I have projected ownership that way. In your opinion, it's the most important thing in playing DFS. Yeah. I mean, I understand the argument for. What I will say is, if you watched the podcast that Byron and I did on Sunday, my optimizer just kind of it finds golfers that are going to be low owned anyways. You know, it builds lineups that you typically wouldn't ever see. Byron goes, I got you, boo. Do you want to explain how projected ownership works? I know that the number has to get to 600. So you can only build a lineup with 6 golfers, right? So for golfer 1, that has to equal 100%. Golfer 2 has to equal 100%. Golfer 3 has to equal 100%. So it's 600% owner. It's a 600% number that your projected ownership has to reach, has to get to. So you kind of start, my guess is you start with what are the most common lineup builds? How easy is it to build lineups with golfer A, golfer B, golfer C, golfer D, golfer E, golfer F? And you just kind of go that route. And then if you can start building these easy lineups, and then also modeling would probably go into it, you can start to cheese it to some extent, where it's like, oh yeah, in this field, you know, where there's all these 9K golfers, it wouldn't surprise me if, what do we have? We have 10 9K golfers. Yeah, 10 9K golfers. So if we said they were all 20% each, that equals 180% of ownership. So then we would take 600 minus it by 180, and whatever we have left over, which is what, 420? So 420 would then, that ownership percentages would be applied to everybody else. And there are how many other golfers in the field? 124? Well, if you multiply that by 3%, you almost get to your 420 number. It'd be like 3.5% or something like that. So all these guys could be 20%, the rest of them could be 3.5%, and then you would get, you know, a number close to 600. That wouldn't be true. That wouldn't be correct. You know that a lot of these other golfers are going to be 10%, 12%, 14%, and most of these golfers down here in the 6K range will be 1%, 0%, stuff like that. So you would kind of create projected ownerships that way. But for how it works, for how other people get it, I don't know. And some people applaud themselves. They give themselves pats on the back for getting like if they guessed 16% and then ownership comes in at 18%, that's a victory for them. That's a victory. Yeah, Byron's got it there. Okay. I did not finish building lineups for Mr. Ryan Henson. Ryan, these lineups just don't work, man. Even with Goddard up, that's just ugly. Oh, the strokes gain 2 bucket. Oh no, that's not it. It was course history 2. Just kidding. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can we just cut one of these guys out? Change yellow for Billy Ho. Okay. I don't know why. Oh my God. Just wait. I have no idea what the heck's happening. What is going on? I'm going to put 100% in. It's Finau and Thorbjornsen. Why is this not working? Why is this not working? What is going on with these groups? They are in the same bucket somewhere, right? Course history 2s. We want somewhere between 1 to 4. Got it. Recent form 3s. We want somewhere between 2 to 6. Okay. Last year 2. We want a max of 2. And so we're at our max of 2. But I don't have that many last year 2s up there. I don't... What? It's week 1s? What is going on? I want a 9K, I want an 8K, and I want a 7K. Is that what's causing issues? We have a 7, we have an 8, but we want a 9. So it's just... Okay, so that is probably breaking everything. Lots of them are recent form 2s. That's a good number to have. Recent form 3s, even a recent form 1. Strokes gain buckets, 2s and 3s. That's it. 2s and 3s. That should be fine. Oh, we want strokes gain 3s. And Koepka's a strokes gain 3. He's in group 1. So you can't really pick him. Thorbjornsen is a strokes gain 3. But Finau is a strokes gain 5. You still want a 9K golfer. Penge is... Okay, so if I remove Penge, I'm sure Penge now makes the lineup work. No, it doesn't. Jesus. What's happening? I remove Finau, and we get lineups that work now. Okay. You like Finau so much. I'm going to go ahead and put Finau in. We're taking out Thorbjornsen. I'll put back in Yellow Miraju. And then I'm going to remove Billy Horschel from this. Okay. Here's what I'll do for you, Ryan. I'll build you a group of lineups that either follow this form. I mean, this lineup right here is fantastic. We'll kick out Rasmus. Now you get Thorbjornsen in here with Goddard, Harry Hall, Pendrith, Finau, and Yellow Miraju. So there we go. You get your 3. Let's kick out Harry Hall. Goddard, Kitayama, Lowry, Finau, Fox, and Yellow Miraju. It's a pretty good lineup. We'll kick out Lowry now. Goddard, Kitayama, Ben Griffin, Finau, Hoey, Yellow Miraju. It's a really good lineup too. Okay. Now I'll kick out Yellow Miraju and I will put in Billy Ho. What's up? Good night. I could throw you in the giveaway if you spelt my name right. We don't spell it with the K here. We spell it with the C. Here you go. Ryan, your updates, or this is Billy Ho instead of Yellow Miraju. You got Finau. Billy Ho, Pendrith, Gerard, Kitayama, Sam Burns. Let me kick out Gerard. I've been watching in the background, just haven't commented like on Mondays. That's all right, man. Well, I never go live Monday. So Burns, Kitayama, Griffin, Finau, Jordan L. Smith, and Billy Ho. I'm gonna kick out Ben Griffin this time. Burns, Kitayama, Wyndham Clark, Pendrith, Finau, Horschel. Let's kick out Kitayama. Then I break it, so Kitayama is a glue piece. Well, maybe one of these AK golfers is also a glue piece. Goddard, Knapp, Harry Hall, Finau, Jordan L. Smith, and Horschel. I'm going to kick out Harry Hall. Might work, it might not. It worked. Goddard, Koepka, Rasmus, Sam Stevens, Finau, and Horschel. There you go. We got through it. Those are some lineups for anybody to go ahead and use. We got there. We did it. Apparently that combo is not very friendly. Not very friendly, Mr. Henson. Okay, Skylar, sorry I didn't see a lot of the other chats that came through. Yeah, Skylar, email me. That's perfect. I will either get to your email later tonight or I'll get to your email tomorrow. Sorry your lines were hard this week. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes. All right, who do I have next? Okay, found it. We got Lombardi Lee. SweetSpotDFS at gmail.com, Skylar. It'll come up on the screen here soon. Let's see here. Fowler, Nikolai, and Ryan Gerard. Fowler. Okie dokie. I'm going to bring back the exposures that I had. Change these back to 59%. These can stay at 27. Okay. We should be good. Should be good. All right, let's see. Lineups for Mr. Lombardi Lee. We get Fowler, Højgaard, English, Gerard, Hughes, and Chris Kirk. Not bad. Your points 447 from Valspar. I would have won a lot with that. I cashed with 395 as the highest last week. Not bad, dude. Not bad. Koepka, Fowler, Højgaard, 3 9s, an 8, a 7, and a 6. Hey man, we talked about the mustache man Chandler Phillips. That's not a bad play. I don't think we want to do Davis Riley, but that's a choice you could do. We're stuck on these golfers, huh? Danny McCarthy into Mark Hubbard. I actually do like Mark Hubbard at this golf course, so I'll save that. That's fine. Fowler, Højgaard, Gerard, Cootie, Stevens, and Bezadenhout. Listen. Well, I was going to say, listen, you can have one short ball hitter, but Fowler doesn't really smash it. Gerard doesn't really smash it. I can't have 3 weaklings on my team. EVR could be a decent play this week if you are looking to get a little frisky, but Fowler, Højgaard, English, Gerard, and Stevens. That's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. Show people how you can randomize the entries you already have. I use that as well to test things out. Yeah. So all these lineups so anything that gets saved over here, by the way. So if you're using this optimizer, so I'm running optimizer, right? And then I save. You could use these buttons here and run 10, run 25, run 50, but sometimes you come across issues like if you error out too many golfers, then there will be issues. But if you save them here and then you come to the contest tab, there's a randomize button up here. It'll take your lineups from here. They'll bring them here and it'll randomize. So you can see Brooks, Fowler, Nikolai, Gerard, McCarthy, and Hubbard are in group 1. If I hit randomize again, now you get Goddard, Scott, Ben Griffin, Mitchell, Stevens, Fishburne. Hit randomize again. Now we get a whole different one. You can continue doing this. I do this a lot. until I find the one lineup I like at the top, and then I just deal with the randomization that happens underneath it. Because that, to me, will give me my best shots at winning money, because of course I'm biased when I'm looking. So that top lineup, guess what? It usually goes in my Drive the Green contest. Have I won that event yet? Nope. I'm not. I got real close one year. I had 2 entries in the Drive the Green contest and 1 in the Nagels Bagels Listener League. Had I put the Nagels Bagels Listener League lineup, which was number 3, so it would have been this lineup here. If I had put that in the Drive the Green contest that were just above it, I would have taken it down, because it was the 3rd most optimal lineup of the entire slate. And I put it in a 100-man contest. It's a $5 winner take all, which I got $450 from. That was great, but I could have had $30,000. So, try to take as much bias as I possibly can out of the lineups that I put together, but just can't help it sometimes. And then I have a DraftKings import page that we can look at some other time. I'll do that tomorrow night. Members only videos. Okay. I need one more for Lombardi Lee. One more. We were trying to determine if EVR should be saved. Oh, we already did save EVR. Okay. One more lineup. David Lipsky with Michael Brennan, Fowler, Højgaard, English, Gerard, Brennan, and Lipsky. There we go. There we go. Okay. Those were lineups for Mr. Lombardi Lee. I need to be a member. I can't figure it out. Dude clearly is doing something different than most of the YouTube golf DFS shows. I knew from the jump when the first show I watched was 4 hours. Yeah, man, I'm just sharing. How would I, if I could bottle all of the things that I do up? One is, I know golf. I know ball. You can ask Byron. You can ask anybody who's ever golfed with me. We know, people know I know ball. I'm also an analyst. So like data is one of my favorite things to cover. It just happened to be in 2017, the only way that I could track stats was finishing position. And I just found trends that worked almost every single week. And then all I did, I mean, some of the people that have been here for forever, I mean, I miss, oh my God, I know his last name's Brown. I can't remember his first name. He used to come to my chat a lot. Joanne's almost been here since the very beginning. Shot Like Harden's been there from the beginning. AJ Love came in a little bit after the beginning, but he's been here. He's probably the one that definitely contributes. Probably the most consistent. But like, they've seen the evolution of this channel. They've seen the evolution of the data. They've seen the evolution of how it became into the website. People know I'm serious about this stuff. And I mean, like, yeah, you can kind of tell I'm serious about it too. But if you watch my first videos from 2019, because I started spreadsheeting stuff in 2017 for myself, and then I started streaming or creating videos in 2019. Those videos are still up. You can go back and watch how painful those are to listen to. I've learned how to stream better. I've learned better audio. I've learned better video quality. It's the whole process, man. It's been a lot of fun. I want to be part of something big. There we go. Yes. Yeah, Jim Lemoyne's been here since the beginning. Yeah, Jim Lemoyne has been here since the beginning. Chad Eckert is probably it was Chad kind of the way that you got in. Congrats on 901 subs. Thanks, man. You may drink a poppy and eat a cookie. I haven't drank poppy in forever, dude. I haven't drank poppy in forever. But I do like poppy. All right, I'm sorry. This is also the other thing I enjoy doing. I pay attention to chat, but at the same time, I kind of lose track of what I've been doing. So Lombardi lead, those were lineups for you. Nathan Johnson, are you still in chat? Because your lineup is next. Logan, did you give me a lineup ever? Nathan Johnson's been here since a while too. Lombardi, you are welcome. Razor Sharp, what's up, man? Can certainly see your video game influence, Eric, as a streamer. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I've gotten it from. Has anybody put in a lineup that I haven't gotten to yet? Because I'm scanning after Nathan's and I'm not seeing anybody else. Jeez. I also hate when I scroll that it just, it'll go from like where I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom. And then I have to go back up and try to find. Kurt Kittyama, throw me in a giveaway, Eric. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I'll do that for you. Are we at hour 3 yet? No, we're almost. We are almost at hour 3. If you all can stay until hour 3, I will run another roll call. I think it's 95.81. Okie dokie. We are on Brooks, M, and Ricky. Ooh. Brooks, M, and Ricky. 7,500 M. There you go. We're good. We're golden. Jim Lemoyne's present. Joanne, good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Most of us have been here 4+ years. Yeah, AJ's actually watched all of my videos through creating my database. The Road to the Masters series. You and Lombardi Lee just always in my chat. And Joanne. Joanne has shown up to those too. Kepka, Fowler, Harry Hall, Thigala, M, Hughes. That's not bad. How many golfers you need? 2 to 4, sir. 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Here. Razor. Screenshot this. Pause the video here. I have it. I know it's hard to see, but I do have them grouped. So if you can find 2 to 4 golfers from here, or if you can go to the cheat sheet and look at the golfers you want there. Got her up, Knapp and Cootie. That works. That works. There you go. That works. Okay. Cool. I'm going to finish these. I don't care for Bezzy Nathan, but if you like Bezaden Hout this week, yeah, you know what? The optimizer tends to know more than we do, right? Bezzy might be a good play, but having him and Poston in the lineup together, I don't know if I like. But I do like both of those golfers as, like, you know, the short ball hitters that you wouldn't put in a lineup. Like, if you really need to get different with ownership, there you go. It's like these two alone will be sub 3% total, most likely. That's fine. Eric, can you see if you got my email? Don't say my email address live on stream. Okay. I did. I mean, I got an email. Oh, you replied to an old email. Here, I'll send you the optimizer with a reply back to you. And I also see the giveaway winner in there too, in my email. So I will get back to you. Skylar, appreciate you, man. That's awesome. That's when I signed up. Okay. Just, man, just hitting me with all the giveaway winners, or not the giveaway winners, all the super chats. That's awesome, dude. It's freaking awesome. Kepka, Fowler, Rasmus, Jason Day, Sung JM, and Ryan Fox. Holy crap, Nathan. This is a super good lineup. I'll paint that one too. Are they both having Ryan Fox? Yeah, both have Ryan Fox in them. And that's it. Just anytime I see Ryan Fox, I must just like the lineup. Skylar, thank you. Skylar, bro, thank you. Kepka, Fowler, English, right? Also, would you like me to use your real name? Because I think Skylar Bro is, if I remember correctly, is that your kid's name? I can't remember. Maybe, maybe not. I might be misremembering, but I can certainly say your real name. Don't have to if you don't want me to. All right, Kepka, Fowler, English, Rye, Im, and Kevin Roy. Hey, not bad, not bad. Fowler, Kepka, Mitchell, Stevens, Im, and Poston. This is a lot. Okay, so you know how I was talking about Bezzy and Poston in the same lineup? A lineup like this where Poston is by himself? Sign me up. I will paint that one as well. That was a good lineup. Okay. We'll clear those out. You're gonna dox me? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. We doing super chats? Bet. No, I asked for permission. Super chats for a super guy. Love that. Thank you. Darn it, I wish I had different sound effects.
You gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
Oh my god. Good night. Oh my god, dude.
Danger zone!
You guys are nuts. Oh my god. This is insane. We're talking about the Texas Children's Houston Open, guys. We're not even talking about the Masters. Woof. You guys are making me blush over here. Good God. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate the hell out of it. That is so cool. Where am I now? I'm so hot and bothered. Okay, so I know Razor, you came in. Razor came in and provided a lineup. Am I missing anybody else? Logan, did you give me a line? You normally do, and I know you gave me like a long string of golfers, but it sounded like you were just gonna go with that lineup no matter what. Byron went to bed. I didn't even see that Byron went to bed. I would have said goodnight to him. Okay, getting down. It's Razor. Razor's my next one. Oh, Logan, I just see I'm not a member, brother. Okay. Here, hold on. Everything that's happening right now, you know what? This is what's gonna happen. Let's see if we can. Let's send 5 memberships right now. Maybe we can get one of you guys. Okay. So, just so everyone knows, Skylar, I'm sure you're going to be interested in this. I don't choose who gets memberships. I don't choose them at all. YouTube. The war is on. YouTube does this randomly. I can't choose people. I'm just gonna do it again. Since you guys are giving me all these monies, let's go ahead and send 5 more. See if I can get any of you guys. Nope, of course not. I tried, guys. I tried. Got her up, Nap, and Cootie. By the way, I usually reserve sending out memberships when the stream hits 25 likes. Did we get 25 likes, by the way? I didn't even see. We're at 17 likes. I mean, I did try. Okay, got her up, Nap, and Cootie. Sorry for the delay, Cootie. I like this combo, by the way. This might be one of my combos that I want to build. Wait, you have to tell us you have to accept membership on. That's right. Do you have the accept membership on? I sure hope so. Darbo, if you think I'm not here, I'm omnipresent, and it's time for roll call. All right. Okay. Roll call number 3. We're at hour 3. Type in the number 1. Easy enough for roll call 3. Oops. I don't have the accept memberships on. Well, damn it. John Bizzle's still here. Appreciate you, John. LB Titan, the giveaway winner from today. Skylar Bro with the 6-7. Okay. I don't even. I'm being pulled in so many different directions. Like, ecstatic and happy about the super chats, but now you're throwing 6-7 in my chat. Good lord. Everything you've done has now unraveled. John Bizzle, Jim Lemoine, McCrack Corn, Wheels Up. Wow, did I miss you? You're the first one. See, we got Skylar in there, Wheels Up, Lombardi, Good Night, Bizzle, Lemoyne, LBD Titan, AJ. Wait a minute, where's Razor? Razor, I'm building you lineups. Where'd you go? And then AJ. Yep. Okay. Cool. Three. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys participating in the chat, I probably would have been off by now. Okay. You know what? If you're gonna give me 6-7, I'm gonna give you this.
Gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing.
Anytime I see that, I'm dyslexia. 7-6, I see. Well, I did say 6-7. So you got me on that one. Goddard, Knapp, Wyndham Clark, Pearson Cootie, Jordan Smith, Denny McCarthy. I like that lineup. I'll paint that one too. That is a good lineup. I don't mind Denny McCarthy this week, by the way. I think you probably want one short ball guy in your lineup. And here we go. We get Seabez in this lineup. You know what's weird? Every time we get to near the 3-hour mark, literally the sweet spot of building lineups happens at this time. And it might just be the fact that it is these three guys that I personally like and want to put in a lineup, but who they're getting paired up with seems pretty good as well. That's a lot of Keith Mitchell, or no? Just, okay, one other Keith Mitchell. Sure. But I'm not going to put Keith in another lineup. Goddard, Knapp, Hall, Cootie, Thigala, Lebioda. I heard a Lebioda take earlier, or at least someone say don't slander Lebioda. Was that Byron? Might have been Byron. Goddard, Knapp, Højgaard, Pearson, Cootie, Ryan Fox, and Chris Kirk. Okay, if you needed a Chris Kirk lineup, there you go. We're gonna skip past that though. Michael Brett, yeah, of course. This lineup is solid. I'm actually gonna paint this one black. I love me some black. Did I put that on here yet? Where's good night? He's right above you. What are you talking about? Okay. What else do I have for lineups? Anybody? That was Razor's lineups. I won a few thousand in poker last summer. I took a break from PGA DFS. Oh, good night. Okay. Good night. Did I build you lineups? Oh, Wheels Up said good night. Oh, he said good night to Joanne. I was to say, what the heck? I missed that one too. Here, I'll do you a solid, Wheels. I'm gonna see if this one works. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to a different one that you had and see if that one works. I don't know where the other one is. Trying to find it. I also didn't even see you say that I helped you win 2,000 once. That's all. I totally forgot about that. And I didn't see it. Things are going by too fast. No lamps for me tonight unless you really want me to. I'm having fun listening and chatting. No, that's up to you. We did get a pretty good turnout for lineup building, so I'm not in need of people providing lineups. It's just if you want them built, I will build them to you as long as you are a member. And I mean, like, you know, Skylar, who's just given me a boatload of money. Like I don't mind. You want to pay $2 through super chats to get a lineup built, by all means, you can go and do that. But you could just do the $2 membership, and that'll last you for the whole month. Griffin Zalatoris, wow. Willie Z, M, and Suba. Jackson Super. Mr. Suba. It's 49.7. You're leaving $300 on the table. Buckets follow there. Buckets follow there. Buckets follow here. They don't here, but that's close enough. So it's okay. Strokes gain buckets. We don't have a strokes gain 2 golfer, but that's fine. That's fine. Works for me. Yeah, that lineup's good. Gather bro, what's up? All members is $199. I don't know if I'm committed for that. $10, Jesus. Dude. I mean, like, you get a cool badge next to your name. Wait, how much have I spent? I have no idea. 12, 14, 24, 29, 31, 33. I can only go back so far, but I see 33. You're a crazy man. You are a crazy, crazy person. That's your exact FanDuel lineup? Okay. Did you redo Marquee Tee Times with Scotty out? I sure did. Yeah, on the... yeah, there's no Scotty. No Scotty in any of this. So Minwoo's my top price dude. No Scotty. That's your limit? There you go, man. Appreciate the hell out of you, honestly. That is insane. That's the most super chatted to that I've had on the channel, I think. I think 20 is the most. So yeah, you having 30, there it is. 33 is what I'm willing to spend. Is 33 a lucky number of yours? You know what? Hey, I think your PRA is gonna hit easy. $15, $11, and 8? Are you what? 34. So you need 6. You need either 6 more points. Yeah, dude. Okay. Okay. Hey, dude. The game being as close as it is. Just ensures that Jokic is just going to get more stuff for you, right? Yeah, I'm good. All right. Is there any closing information I have for you guys? If no one wants lineups built, I do like that we figured this out. The elite grouping, a huge fan of it. Got to take out. Got to take out Scotty, but Minwoo, Goddard, Fowler, and Kitayama. Actually, don't think we need to select 2 of these guys. I think one of them is going to be just fine. I don't think we need to pick 2. And for those that are interested, how did I come up with that? Well, when Byron and I were talking Sunday, we put these filters on. It was the best course history and the best recent form. Like, they had to be in the top 28 of course history, the top 28 of recent form. And quite frankly, I guess I didn't do it this way, but we can certainly do it this way now. It's gonna... Ooh, does Ryan Gerard sneak in there now? Is that what I just saw? So I want to look down at the top 28, which is down to Phillips Chandler. Sorry, did that wrong. Down to Keith Mitchell. So 40.67, maybe 41. There's your 6-7, Skylar. I said it for you. 42. 41 and 42. So we would move this down to less than or equal to 41. This will be less than or equal to 42. We have 2 new people added to the list, guys. Keith Mitchell and Ryan Gerard. 2 new people. Okay. What we did with Byron on Sunday is we actually just did it by 40. Did you see what I did that? So instead it's 41 and 42. However, why does Keith Mitchell not show up? Why are my numbers slightly different? Course history, 40.67, 35.6. I must have different numbers for Ryan Gerard. A 9th place finish? Did I do that wrong? Oh, did I do it wrong? I don't think so. Oh, yep. Got to add this guy right here. Got to add that. There you go. There's Ryan Gerard. That's the new elite group outside of Scotty. So you anchoring. Ooh, okay. I could do 2 guys now. And Gerard and Mitchell just became that much more enticing for me to play. I won't put Minwoo and Gerard together because they have the same course history. I don't believe in that. But Goddard in Gerard or Goddard in Mitchell, that feels good. Hey, good night, guys. Good night. Eric may set the goal at 1,000 subscribers. Whoa, 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 whoa. What am I missing? Well, first of all, good night to Logan. Good night to Jim Lemoyne. Appreciate you guys being in the chat. I've got to start from here. That's my limit. 33 is what I'm willing to spend. See you at the top. Good night, says Wheels Up. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm good. For the newbies, Marquee Tee Times are money in addition to the bucket system. That's right. That's why I'm super chatting. Oh, my lineup. Eric, do me a favor, says Logan. Set a goal for your sub count before the Masters. Okay. No, I will. I mean, I kept it at 900 because we reached 900 right before this. Okay, Skylar, you want Minwoo and Goddard up? You got it. And whatever it spits out, I'm playing in the 444. And you'll give me 10%. Appreciate you. All right, here we go. Skylar, we're gonna conclude the stream with your lineup. I'm gonna do 5 lineups for you like I do for everybody, and you get to choose one. You want Minwoo and Goddard. That is something. Okay. I'm gonna push Gerard up to 24% because I want to see if a Gerard lineup gets built. And do I put Keith? Okay, Keith Mitchell's at 16. Okay, all right. Let's see what happens. Oh, I'm not leaving. I'm a closer. I was saying good night to the gents. Oh, there we go. There we go. Did I lock in Jackson Suber? I did. Okay. I see. I forgot to kick him out. I was like, how did Jackson Suber end up in this lineup? Hey, Skylar, if you want a lineup of the community, Jackson Suber is one of Logan's guys. I don't have an issue with it. Jackson Suber is pretty decent. But now you get access to Thorbjornsson and Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson. In fact, I'm saving that lineup because I kind of like it. I'm not advocating for that to be a lineup in the 444, but maybe actually, you know what? Fuck it. That might be the lineup in the 444. I don't like this one because Chris Kirk is in it, so we'll skip that one. This is a pretty juicy lineup, and it's got Ryan Gerard, which I'm going to be, I mean, we don't need Ryan Gerard in a lineup because we have Minwoo and Goddard who are in the elite grouping, but we can have up to 3. We want somewhere between 2 to 3, but sticking around 2, this is okay. I'm going to skip it though. It's okay. We're going to skip that one as well. I'm going to skip this one. It's not terrible. I do like Pendrith. This is a lineup I can get behind. This is the lineup I can get behind. Minwoo, Goddard, Gerard, Pendrith, Michael Brennan, and Grillo. Do we? Oh, hold on. I need to look at Jackson Suber. Just wait. Give me a second. Let me look at Jackson Suber. Wasn't he 6,300? Did I see that wrong? Am I blind? Stanger, Lebiota, Walker, Vanderlaan, Shipley, Howell, Lamprecht. Oh, he was a late ad. That's why he's not in my stuff. Okay. Well, then we just find him this way. Suba. Cut. 63rd. Okay. Sorry. No. Hey, I'm a proponent for playing golfers who are kind of down, but that's not going to be it for me. Do I like something more like this? Oh god, this is a good contrarian lineup too. Minwoo, Goddard, Griffin, Sungjae, Poston, and Kevin Yu. What a sexy lineup. What a sexy lineup. And another sexy lineup. I'm cool with the lineup like that. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Banger. I don't like Harry Hall in this lineup, but this is pretty good too. 99876. I like Stanger. I don't care for Harry Hall, which could be a downfall of mine, but I do like Jimmy Stanger. Let's see if we can do it again. I don't want super. This is a $4,400 lineup. Okay. Well, a $4,400 lineup. It's a pretty good lineup too. All right. Here are my options. Okay. This is your section of lineups right here. This lineup is the lineup I probably feel the most confident in of making all 6 a 6 through the cut. I'm a big fan of Taylor Pendrith this week, so yes, I like that. This, I think, is your safest lineup. I feel like probably the potential for the most successful lineup. I'm also a big fan of Pearson Cootie in Texas. These lineups here, by the way, here, I'll do this. These lineups right here, they're very volatile, and I feel like if you don't have to get, I mean, these would be good $5 drive the green contest lineups because of how, like, I don't know in the 444 how crazy you have to be. I have no idea. Say it, please. Say it, please. Okay, you said, give me that. I'm watching on the phone. No Harry Hall. Don't want Suber. Im is an auto fade. Okay. All right, here's the lineup. Minwoo Lee, Chris Gotterup, Ryan Gerard, Taylor Pendrith, Michael Brennan, and Emiliano Grillo. There you go. I typed in the chat for you. Good luck, man. Good luck. Do we have anything else that we want to cover? It is getting late. Here, I will also do something for you. I'm gonna log into one of my other accounts. Okay. So, Skylar, are you paying attention? There's a little money symbol down here. If you click on this, oh my goodness, we're gonna go infinite. There's a membership. This little like show support for SweetSpot. You did all the super chats. Membership. Once you click on membership, you can do the join, red tier, white tier, black tier, or champ tier. It will provide all the things that you get access to. So whatever that you find to be your benefit. Red tier gets you free. This gets you free lineups built every single week. White tier, Truman style, yeah. White tier will get you the members only videos. So Wednesday night member only videos, white tier. You just hit join. Don't think anything is going to show up. I don't think. Maybe it will. So yeah, $4.99. You get taxed. Whatever your payment thing is, you just buy. Simple as that. I'm kind of glad that we found a new grouping. You get Mitchell and Gerard on it. Can't afford membership? You spent too much. You spent too much money. I don't know if I can refund you right now. Can I? I might have to do it on the back end if you truly don't have enough money. Which, hey, if you just busted all your money into the super chats, then so be it. Is this guy trolling? He might be. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'll do this. I do this every night. Every time I'm streaming, I'll give 3 minutes for closing questions, closing thoughts, anything that you guys want. I don't want a refund. You got it, man. I won't. I was merely offering it. Merely offering it. Yeah, these were some good lineups built tonight. I actually like them quite a bit. Who knew? Not having a 10K range and not having Scotty Scheffler in the field would make lineup building a little bit easier. Who knew? Oof. Tonight has been a night. This is the longest I've streamed in a long time. He was joking. He was joking. So much boomer bust. Oh, super, I said. Hey, Skylar, make sure you email me any questions that you may have. Me, I'm also enjoying that stream Sunday night with Byron. I'll get a text from Byron every once in a while that'll say like, dude, I really loved tonight, or like, I had such a blast tonight. That show is so easy to do. I kind of knew it would be. Like when we all hung out in Iowa, it was pretty easy to like chill and vibe with them. Longest since the last major, I know. Go Jokic is my closing thoughts. Yeah, I agree, man. $15 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists. He just got another assist. 15, 11, 10. Oh my god, dude. You just need 4 more, dude. Just 4 more. I wonder if I can get copywritten if I post this. Do we think I can get copywritten for this? I might play World Series of Poker again, and you won't see me for 3 to 4 months. Well, that's not what we like to hear. Yeah, I agree, AJ. Be fruitful and prosperous. Byron's easy and best co-host on YouTube. Yeah. All right. I would love to stay on and watch this, but I don't know when it's going to happen. And I have to hit the hay. I have to do the timestamps first and then hit the hay. All right, dudes, ladies and gents, people of the night, I'm going to take off. Email me if you need me. Thank you all for watching. Skylar, you are a beast. Thank you, sir. I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.